to be fair.
All right, welcome to another edition of New York Got Game. Live watch party. Dexter Henry here. Game 2 for Knicks versus Celtics. My guy Bryan Fonseca is with me, and we have a guest.
Yes.
We decided to bring the ops in the building. Good friend, journalist, writer, producer. She's been on Rapid Rundown when she does a show with me.
Yes.
What else did we do? We've done some other stuff together. I can't recall. But that's one I remember.
Yeah.
And that was the day when you came on that show that I found out you were a Celtics fan, and you were a Celtics fan sitting here with us to watch this game, which is really nice of you. You didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? You didn't have to do that.
I don't mind spending the evening with you guys. Hopefully we get this win.
See,
Let's go.
See, that I'm not going to co-sign that. That's not what the fans want to hear. But I will ask you. You can bring those. You can bring those in, Tommy.
I was going to tell you to throw it so I can just.
I will.
Thank you.
That could have gone terribly wrong.
No, don't
Thank
sleep on
you,
my
Tommy.
hands.
Yeah, I trust you. I trust Greydy has got good hands too. Greydy hoops, so she's got good hands
You
too.
already know.
I gotta ask you because so we've been doing. I think what's the 6th or 7th one we've done of this through the playoffs.
This is
because we didn't do game 4.
This is 7th because this is the 8th game of the Knicks playoffs, but the 7th time we've done this because we keep bringing it up. The NFL draft kind of stepped on our run a little bit, but it is what it is.
Anybody who sat here has been rooting for the Knicks, pretty much some super fans. So you are the first.
I'm the first op. That's
first
crazy.
Op in the building.
But to be fair, in this series we have not had a Knicks fan yet.
Okay,
that is true
because
we had Gerard Hector here yesterday, who is not a Knicks. He's not a Knicks fan. Just covers the NBA general guy, and then you, who are a Celtics fan. And I found out you were a Celtics fan, and I didn't know that I think that was our first time meeting because we met before.
Most people think I'm from New York.
I thought that too.
I thought that too.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the confidence. But either way, I'm from Massachusetts. Very proud to be Dominican, Puerto Rican. There's so many of us there. And that's why.
That's why.
Right?
You know what? I have to be completely honest. Before I ever met Greydy, right? Before I ever met Greydy, we follow each other. Yeah, I see the Dominican flag. I saw the Puerto Rican flag. I was like, oh, okay. She's a New Yorker.
Listen, we're everywhere though.
True. That's true.
We were talking about this before. It's like, listen, don't sleep on the Puerto Rican and Dominican communities in Boston.
Yes.
Okay? We're out there too.
Yes.
And like Providence, that whole New England area.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I made some assumptions.
So
and I think it was a little bit off of meeting you two and then like your energy. And I was like, oh yeah, she's a New Yorker. And then when she came up for the show and told me, I was asking her for, I was like, well, hey, where are you from? Because I was going to introduce her.
You also met her in New York.
Yes.
Right.
Like a couple events, like Liberty Games and stuff like that.
Right.
And then when she was doing the show and I said, hey, Greydy, well, how do I introduce you and where you from? She's like, I'm from Massachusetts. I'm a Celtics fan. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on?
She just agreed to come on anyway.
No, it was fine. We had already decided he was coming on the show, but we had to talk about the Knicks. There was a part we were talking about the Knicks. And so she's like, I'm a Celtics fan. I'm like, I didn't know this.
Like, I don't care about the Knicks.
That's fine. It's all good.
Listen, but the Knicks do have a Dominican, so I do care about the Knicks. In the regular season.
So you have enjoyed watching?
Yeah, of course.
He plays for the national team.
I know.
Yeah,
and it's been dope for Kat seeing him
and
at home.
Met Kat.
And seeing people at the Garden with the Dominican flag, that's been really dope.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have your guy, Al Horford.
Of course.
So
of
you
course.
got two Dominicans going head to head.
I mean, did you see that block last game that Al Horford had?
Al Horford was pissing me off last game.
Still got it, honestly.
Still got it,
Still got it at 30. He moves his feet so well.
Super well.
It's like, damn, it's crazy. But how are you feeling after the last game? That's what the people wanted.
You know, I was really disappointed because I didn't expect us to lose at home game one. I feel like game one can really set the tone for the series. So I was a bit shocked. You know, have you ever been to a game in Boston?
Yeah, I have. Actually, it wasn't good for the Knicks when I was there. But I've been to several games in Boston. That
energy is so different, especially when it comes to playoff time. So again, I just did not expect an L to start this series, but we can only bounce back from here.
But see, do you want to share with the people about an experience you had before you came in here that some people consider good luck, that might be good luck for your Celtics? I'm trying to be positive here with this, but you had an experience that you might want to, if you don't want to share.
No, I don't mind sharing. Okay. Listen, I'm an open book for the most part.
There we go. I'm the same.
Yeah, a bird decided to, go to the bathroom on me. And so I did a little bit of cleaning pre-show, and it actually happened yesterday too. So that maybe that's double the luck.
Yo, who's at? Please, if you're in the chat, let us know.
I don't know what's going on.
Who's been pooped on by a bird 2 days in a row? Because maybe it's really good. I'm glad you're sitting next to me. Maybe all the luck will rub off here. Maybe.
But for my team.
Right. That's why I looked. I was like, are you sure you want the luck?
I just want luck in life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I want luck in life.
I hear that.
I don't want luck for the Celtics. You do. But this might be a good sign for you. Or there's another way of looking at it, that it's a precursor to the Knicks are going to shit in the Celtics.
Oh, wow.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Grady, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Now that the game has started, so for people watching and are maybe want to sync up or whatever the case may be, we're 11:45 into the first quarter. Okay. So they missed 45 threes in the first game.
On 60 attempts.
On 60 attempts, which is a record, legitimately a record. I don't think that's going to happen again, but are you concerned that, not to that degree, it'll happen again, as OG Anunoby opens up with a step back three, but are you concerned that maybe because they were settling too much really in that fourth quarter, and I think that's what ultimately killed them, because even with all those misses, the game was still in reach.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're definitely going to change things up this game. Joe does not play about this team, and I feel like he absolutely has probably a different strategy and is going to really hold those guys accountable this game. You have to. So
you don't think he's going to, because from the press conferences, he was kind of doubling down, and he's just like, we just have to make shots. And I'm looking at it like, but
I think they're going to think about their shots.
Yeah,
a bit more this game, and they should.
Like the quality of their shots? Is that what you mean? They think about the quality of them, or think about, because they generally shoot a lot of threes, as we all know.
Yeah, but they don't shoot 60 a game,
and they shoot more catch and shoot three. Like the problem with some of the threes is they were dribbling into them a lot of times, and I think, and we were saying this game one, it's like if the Celtics are going to try to hurt them at all, other than just like passing it around the 3-point line, is you got to attack Cat, which is not just spreading him out to the corners and getting open 3-point looks. Right. It's also attacking him.
For sure.
They didn't do that.
And in game one, didn't he get like 3 fouls?
Quick.
Yeah, quick. Yeah. First half.
He was in foul trouble. Yeah. Just pretty much the whole game. And I don't know, Dex, if you've noticed, but Cat's kind of back doing the stupid fouls a little bit.
That's probably going to get taken back. You see that? The ball's in OG's hand.
It looked late.
Yeah, it looked late live. They're going to take that back when they review it.
Yeah. Yep. Did they say they're going to review it? I assume so.
I got to assume they do, because it was so close. They probably already signaled to look at it. So a neighbor of mine saw me as I was leaving to come here, and he's like, talking to me about the game, and he's like, the Celtics, 63s. And he's like, this is what's wrong with the NBA. So I got into one of those conversations. I told him, like, the Celtics average 48 threes on the season, right? They take a lot. It's a little more than that.
It might have been. Okay. It might have been in the low.
I thought it was high 40s that they were.
I mean, in the postseason, they're averaging 34 attempts from 3.
But that's because Orlando does
a good job taking away.
The best job of taking away their 3-pointers, because that's what they do as a defense.
Oh, good steal by OG. What's a good number of threes for you, Grady, that you want to see?
I think between 45 and 50 attempts, I think like 45 attempts is good. Is a good number for me.
60 is just too much.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
No one can
especially if you're not making them. If you're shooting 25%, it's way too much.
That's the point, right? Like maybe there's some point there where you got to be like, okay, we got to stop here.
They're 1 for 8 right now from the field, and the Knicks are 1 for 5. Both teams can't make a shot right now. Look at Al. Ridiculous.
He moves his feet still so well. The Knicks are going to try to punish him on Tatum. Who's your favorite player to watch on the Celtics right now?
I mean, who do you think?
Al Horford.
Listen.
Sometimes people don't stick with their people. I'm just making sure.
I mean, for me, it's between Al and Jayson Tatum. I think Jason's an incredible player. I think he's gonna, end up being one of the best, greatest of all time. And I mean, he's a champion already, and I think if they can do it again this year, which I think they can, it's only gonna, put him up in that category.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, but Al's a legend. He's a Dominican legend.
Seriously.
From Puerto Plata.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's where my family lives, and I go there all the time. So, just to go back and see all the murals of him, there's so much love for him there. He goes back to his country,
That's awesome.
His home country. And, I just feel like, how can you not root for somebody like that?
Yes, it's hard not to. Are you also a Red Sox fan?
I'm Boston everything. Boston needs a WNBA team. We're getting a women's soccer team. Listen, that's my hometown.
Who was I just talking to about the WNBA team I was talking to Noah Dalzell. We were talking about this, and we were talking about, she was on the show with me this weekend. I was talking to her about that. I was like, hey, do you think Boston had a W team? And she said, there's talks about it, but the problem is it kind of overlaps with the Connecticut market. But I still feel like they need one.
Absolutely.
It's an iconic basketball city. You got to have a women's team there.
It's an iconic city for sports. It's a championship city, baby.
Yeah. I'm not going to. You wasn't going to get those words out of my mouth. I'm not saying it's not true.
To be fair, though, I mean, you and I, Dex, we don't have a problem with the Red Sox. So just comparatively,
I don't root for the Yankees.
I do love going to Mets games, though. I love
Citi Field
the Mets.
Is better.
I love
Citi
the
Field
Mets.
Is better.
There you go.
It just is.
And I'm a big.
I'm actually going to be up in Boston for the Mets Red Sox series in a couple weeks. I'm going to be up there because I have never watched a game as a fan at Fenway. I've been there for work, but I've never watched a game as a fan at Fenway. But I got to walk around Fenway. I got to go to Green Monster.
Love that.
Fenway's dope.
Yeah.
I like the baseball stadiums that are still in the neighborhoods. We only have like 3 left in this country, so I like that.
Yeah.
This could be a clear path. I think that's what they're looking at here because Jalen Brunson fouled. So it was like a football pass, really. Like Drew Holiday just kind of burned him, and he's going up for the catch, and Jalen Brunson fouls him, but no one's in front of Drew Holiday. So I wonder if they're reviewing for a clear path. Also, Dex, to your point, they took the 3-pointer away.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, once they had a dead ball, they were going to do it.
But I bet you on Twitter.
So it is a clear path.
I bet you on Twitter there'll be some fans. You're like, what? They're trying to play us. See, they're trying to cheat. Whatever. That was already happening. It was going around. You saw the officials were like, 6-0 against. Or for the Celtics this year. And it's like, I think people the floodgates have opened too much for the internet where everything's a conspiracy theory now, which is another discussion for probably another thing. But listen, man, I'm kind of tired of conspiracy theorists.
I saw that about
everything.
I saw that about the refs, with how the Celtics were undefeated with these reffing crew. I'm just like, if you're a Knicks fan, you could also say they're due for a loss with these officials. Like that, you can look at it that way. I don't think any of that stuff matters. I don't look at the official records and stuff like that. None of that stuff matters to me.
I think it's just fun fan fodder, I guess. Say that 3 times fast. Look at Josh Hart shooting the 3, Dex. Grady, do you think if you're Boston, do you want them to have Josh Hart taking most of the shots, right? From a defensive standpoint? Or does it not matter? Is it just about playing good, clean defense, being sharp on your rotations, and just making every shot tough?
I think the latter. I think it's about, being sharp on defense and just kind of making sure everybody's in their spots.
Are you worried about Porzingis not being here for this game, or do you feel like they don't need him?
I'm not super worried, but I do think that he adds. Whenever he's on the floor, I love when he's on the floor. I love when he's in rotation. So. Right. I do think they're missing a piece for sure, but I think that they could win without him for sure.
Yeah, see, I thought the Celtics would come out strong in this one.
They haven't.
They really haven't, but they got the lead. You know,
Right.
but having the lead is important, right? Like whether it's strong or not, they have the lead. And neither team has shot well, but they've got the lead, and they can get the crowd on their
But they know
side.
how to blow a lead.
And this is what I hear from all my Celtics
that's what I hate
friends.
for us, you know.
Yeah, like they know how to blow a lead.
The Celtics arena, especially, like when you hear it on TV, you could kind of hear like the nerves because we talked about this last time. There's been all these years before they won their title last year, where it was like, you know, series against Milwaukee, series against Miami multiple times, and other series that were just tough for them, and then they finally get over it this past year, win a championship. But now I feel like sometimes you hear the nerves, like when they're taking bad shots, when they're missing shots, and it's kind of bubbling in the arena, and it's like, like they're doing the isolation heavy offense again. Like, where's the movement? I think that's what the Knicks want, is to force these type of shots, but you know, obviously not that deep into the paint. But I think they want to force like these isolation, your turn, my turn shots from the two J's. And I think if you're Boston, you need to move the ball. Like, you just need to keep moving the ball and create good looks.
I agree.
That was a tough shot there by Jalen Brown. Well, we got
shot maker.
We gotta ask you, because we've been having this conversation off and on in the last couple of streams. Where were you on the 100 men versus a gorilla discussion?
Oh my
I thought that was going a very different direction.
Oh, you thought? What did you think I was going to ask?
We'll talk about it at halftime. I thought you were setting up for a really good joke that here, I don't know if it would have, like, you know.
Oh, now I need to. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's fine.
It's fine.
What did you think about that?
I saw a simulation on X or Twitter that showed 100 men versus a gorilla, and they did not basically touch that gorilla.
We didn't get it done.
We didn't get it done.
What did you think before seeing the simulation? No,
I didn't think that.
You didn't think it was possible?
No.
You thought it was going to be a wrap for the 100 men?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. What do you think?
Yeah, he's got more hope. He's one of these people.
All I'm no, it's not. Hold on, wait.
Okay, I'm all ears.
No. Look at him with all the judgment.
Right.
All the judgment, please.
All I'm saying is, it's 100 people, and I acknowledge 50 to 80 are gonna die.
Well, what's the strategy then? With the other 20,
I would have to pull up the Van Lathan video, because he has an actual elaborate.
He has a strategy with elite athletes. Remember, we're taking 100 random.
I don't think you need all elite athletes.
100 random men,
but you do need to be coordinated. This is a stupid thing.
If you take 100 random men, how many of them do you think are coordinated?
Well, you have to find. You could find 100 coordinated.
No, you're taking.
We can't be doing this again. We did this like 3 games.
I need to know what the people think. Different people think it's 100 random men.
I can't.
It's random.
Here's the problem I have with this. Actually, is like, because we're in 2025 and shit is just wild. Like, people are gonna try this. Like, there's gonna I hope not.
To a zoo.
There's gonna be a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer who's like, oh, could 100 men beat a gorilla? We're actually gonna try it, and then they'll probably just like not legitimately try it, but go to the zoo, antagonize a gorilla from outside in the zoo. Like, they're gonna do some messed up stuff. So I don't want to speak that into existence.
And it will not go well for them. So don't do it.
Haha, it's a fun debate. We disagree on the outcome, but we don't need to actually try this. If you want to play like a video game and potentially simulate this, I'm all for that, because I'm a gamer. But other than
somebody might try it on some Squid Game type stuff and be like, if you survive and you beat the gorilla, you get a cash prize.
Just don't do it in real life.
People will sign up for that.
I think video games have something to do with this. Because like when you grow up playing games, like there's always these levels where, all right, the monster you're facing, or in my case, the Pokemon you're facing, gets a lot bigger, and then you have to try to take it out with something very, very small, or like a lot of different types of people. Like,
this is, I mean, there's a lot of smaller characters in video games defeating things that clearly are much stronger. But you know what they have in those video games? Power-ups and stuff like that. Ain't no power-up for no gorilla.
No.
Okay, so you're Grady, you're with
gorilla's
different. We're here.
I do think, like, you know what? It's fine. Because then we're not gonna get off of it. And it's like I just don't.
I'm a little over the conversation, but I have to ask the guest now just to see every guest that comes in. Gerard, the last game, he was like, no. He's with the gorilla.
Okay.
Because Gerard's very, very, very
rational.
Yes.
So am I.
But you know.
Oh, we got to make those free throws.
We all need a little bit of irrational confidence. You know what I'm saying? So
good luck.
Yeah, Jalen Brown sometimes at the free throw line.
Yeah.
It's an experience. I like him very much as a player. He's
going right back at
he
heart
does
here.
That's smart.
That's smart.
He does some annoying things sometimes, but he also does some really good things also off the court. But sometimes I'm like, man, you don't need to ISO as much as you do. Like you have a lot of like just other things you excel at. Look, and he's actually guarding Towns right now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, early entry for Luke Cornett.
Grady, what was your prediction before the series?
I mean, Celtics in 5.
There it is.
Ooh, see, here's the kind of start I expected from the Celtics. I thought the Celtics were going to come out and punch him in the mouth. I know it didn't look pretty, but I'm not surprised at this.
The offense is getting cleaned up. I thought it would be cleaner. The defense has been like, look at that.
Oof.
That was a good closeout by Derek White.
Like I know.
Ooh. They're lucky there.
A little quick
Very
on that
lucky.
one.
Yeah.
I was going to say Derek White, because we've talked about like Josh Hart being one of my favorite role players in the NBA. Derek White is also.
That was a great trade.
Man.
Why are you passing there, OJ?
Great. What was that trade again for Derek White that you guys did?
They traded, what's his name?
That wasn't the Marcus Smart trade. That was
no. It's before that. Oh, shoot. He tried
if that went in.
Out.
If that went in.
Jalen.
If that went in. You remember when Brandon and I got dunked by Andre Drummond? Oh my God!
You guys are lucky that didn't go in.
That would have been murder.
DeAndre Jordan. It was
DeAndre Jordan. Sorry.
Props to Jalen Brunson for trying to take the charge.
Oh my gosh!
Did he get the call?
That's crazy. That could have been a charge, though.
Did he get the call?
See, he took
a shot to the face. Look at this. Oh, you know how I
he did get the call.
He did. Yeah.
Wow.
That makes sense.
But if he got in.
Woo!
You could never live that one.
You can't reverse it if it's if he made the dunk. I think if he makes a dunk, that's a blocking foul on principle.
Let's go.
I think he pulled it off the rim. See, again, we need to see if this is a Mitch series because I'm not sure if it is.
I mean, I'm not sure either. I still thought they were.
He had a good plus minus last game, but I think there's some smoke and mirrors.
7 free throws.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's smoke and mirrors into that.
Good pass.
That's a good pass.
We gotta finish our breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. A phrase that I love.
Right?
Yep. You got to finish your breakfast. You got to shoot those threes, Josh Hart. That's a big hit. Knicks needed that.
I didn't take it.
But then, that's a big swing because the Celtics should have had 4 of the points.
Yeah.
Knicks get 3 there. It's a big swing.
Yeah, no one's off to a good offensive start. The Knicks obviously having much more trouble, but I think Boston also, like they've rushed some shots, but their process has been better, at least I would say. Look at that. Attacking Mitchell Robinson. Wow, they're missing layups.
See, they're going to revert back to threes because they're missing layups. That's the thing I'm concerned about there with you, the Celtics fan. Good pass.
Yeah, OG. Knicks taking advantage of the missed layups. Joe Mazzulla's got to be out of his mind.
Oh my God!
I'm sure he thinks they should be up 30-5 right now.
Probably.
I mean, the Celtics have left a lot of points on the board, but I do think their offense looks better.
Yeah, I think the Knicks have left a little bit on the board, but they're out of sync offensively.
Need it.
That's what they do.
Let's go.
That was good when left.
I have Derek White to make 4 threes. Okay. Grady's gonna think I'm a gambling addict.
And that's one, right?
I'm not.
That's his only one.
That's his.
No, he has 2.
He's 2.
He has 2 now.
Uh-oh.
I have him.
He just needs 2 more.
Yeah. The problem is also
bad turnover. Good steal by Tatum.
Is he gonna take him on?
Ooh.
Oh, the in and out layups.
I'm surprised.
I'm
surprised he didn't get that because Tatum usually gets calls.
Ooh. Talk about not finishing their breakfast. The Celtics, man. There's about like 3-4 point blank shots they should have had. Tatum's asking why.
Let's see if he has a case. I want to see a replay. They don't always show him on those type of plays, but
they do not.
I thought he would have. But it is what it is.
Knicks fans, how you feeling? Grady, how you feeling?
Celtics fans, how you feeling?
I feel okay. We're up right now, but I'm not comfortable. I never get comfortable. You can never get comfortable with the lead with the Celtics.
That's fair. And you saw in the last game, you were up 20.
And blew it.
Which is shocking to me.
Have you spoken to any Knicks fans in the last couple of days? And have they been insufferable towards you?
So
great question.
I have a group chat with 2 of my friends, Deidre and Aaliyah, and they are both Knicks fans. So
good people.
They let me know, So, but I did ask them. I said after the game, we shot very poorly. We blew a 20-point lead. I would like for you to respect my privacy at this time.
Yo, look at you setting boundaries. I like this.
But
You're
did you
like,
ask
okay.
them? Did you ask them? Do you think you're going to win the series?
Oh,
after this game?
I didn't ask them.
Because that's what I would.
I didn't ask them.
Like, how much confidence do you really, you know?
Maybe I should text them right now and say, "Do you think you're going to win this game?"
Ask them. Ask serious.
I would wait. I would wait just.
No. Ask him now. No, ask him now. No. Ask him now. So
you want her to jinx?
No, I don't. I don't think it even matters. I have a longtime friend from middle school. Her name is Cian. Cian is a native New Yorker, but she's a Celtics fan. She's a longtime Celtics fan.
That's rare.
And she saw a reaction to the end of the game. She DM'd me on IG, and she said, Dexter, I can't take these Knicks fans right now. Like, they're just messaging me. They're over the top. They're telling me they're going to win the series. Look, some of Knicks Nation is overreacted.
They were getting mad at all of us because we're like, yo, the win was awesome for them, but I don't think they're going to win the series.
Nah.
You know?
You still confident in them winning the series. I take that.
Oh, I'm confident. I've been confident since the beginning of the season that they were going to win a championship.
Right. You should, though. So why would you change now?
No. I would switch up.
And Grady, you know, like, Boston has these dumb losses in the playoffs.
Man,
like
they do.
They did it against Orlando. They did it last year in the first round against Miami. They nearly did it against Indiana multiple times. Like, they always have these dumb losses that they respond to in the playoffs. Like, and I was tracking the numbers, like, when we were talking about this last time, where, like, after losses in the playoffs, like, they're really, really good, especially if the losses at home.
They know how to turn things around.
And they can win on the road. They've won a road game in 11 straight playoff series.
They might be, for the last few years, the best playoff team on the road. They might be. You know,
that's why I think if you're a Celtics fan, you should be confident. You know, and this is why a Knicks fan.
And I think if you're a Knicks fan, you should feel like, hey, like, just because this goes back 1-1, if this goes back 1-1, you know, to the Garden, like, oh, that's it. They're going to win both the Knicks are going to win both at home. It's not going to work that way necessarily. So if you're a Knicks fan, like, yeah, you should want 2-0 because even that is, like, not that much security because this series, you know, like, Boston's tough. They're the bar.
Right.
You know what I mean? So look at this, the point differential, which we were talking about. I mean, Dex, you said you thought that the close games would help the Knicks.
I did.
Going forward.
I did.
And I was like, oh, Porzingis is in off the bench.
No, I knew he was playing, but it was off the bench, yeah. Because I saw Zach Rizzo tweet that.
Oh, well, yeah, 2.5 minutes left. No, I thought he would come in a little bit later in the first quarter, but it is later in the first quarter. He's trying to post up OG right away.
They went right to him right away.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a shot clock violation?
Oh, that's so embarrassing. You have to be aware of the shot clock.
To be fair, that's not on Porzingis because he got the ball so late in the shot clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they can't, I guess they didn't have a full shot clock. Like, how did
it's quick.
They took it to, they did take a timeout.
That's what
that's
what
I'm
getting
have the full shot clock.
Okay.
I think it was 12 when they
that makes a lot more
got
sense.
The ball in.
Makes a lot more sense. Yeah, he clearly thought he had more time because he was framing up.
What is
everything.
that?
Al Horford's always around something bad happening for the Knicks. It's ridiculous.
Al Horford, man.
I wonder if he's gonna does he care to get into coaching?
I wonder.
I feel like if you're the Celtics, you're like, yo, after you retire.
You know how many kids he has? He needs to stay home. Go home.
How many kids he has?
He has like five kids.
Yeah.
I just stay home.
You know.
Yeah. Fair.
You know what?
About that.
See, that makes me think of something else with Al Horford.
Kids are expensive.
It's got to watch themselves on the boards.
Dex, you know that.
Yeah, I do. I got one, and that's it. Right? Like Josh Hart, I couldn't hit it.
I think that's a good shot for Josh.
Because Al Horford has 5 kids, because he's been doing this a long time, he's had deep playoffs runs. Do you think if they win again this year that he'll come back or he retires?
That's a great question.
I know what his wife wants. His wife is like, yo. His wife is like, yo, time to wrap.
I mean, I think he's probably taking it year by year, or should be taking it year by year. And if he feels good and looks good, and why not play until you can't?
Does he get his number retired in Boston?
I think so. I think he should get his number retired in Boston, especially if they win the second championship.
Yeah.
I kind of agree that that's the kind of bench. I think if he gets 2, he definitely gets a retired.
Because he had 2 runs.
Yep.
He was a part of like a bunch of deep runs also.
Yep. And he would have been to 3 finals and have won 2. That's pretty good.
If they win this year.
That's pretty.
But off of one championship, especially in Boston, given the history, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I think it takes multiple. In Boston, it's going to take, and because Boston has so many retired numbers.
That's
right.
That's
so
that's
many.
the other thing. But also, to be fair, like it's 42. You know, like if he were wearing like 1.
Oh, good move.
Right.
You can't. That's a little bit different. I think the number itself also kind of matters sometimes. That's why we were talking about Melo. I'm like, it's 7, so you got to be careful. But Melo deserves it, I think, for the Knicks.
Yeah, I think if he wins another one, I think Al Horford definitely deserves it. Because when you think of these championship teams 10, 15 years from now, you're going to think of him and his impact.
Yeah.
Not to mention he's got the Dominican connection in the city, kind of like Big Papi did. I don't know if that matters that much in Boston, but I mean, it matters to me. I'm sure it matters. I know it matters to you.
It matters to me.
I know it matters to you. Yeah.
Will Jalen Brunson put up 30 points today? That's my question for you both. You think he has it in the tank?
I think if you're Boston.
Oh my God, Al Horford.
See, again, just leaving it on the table.
People are going to sound like I hate Al Horford because I actually don't, man. He's actually one of my favorite role players ever.
I get it. He's a pain in the ass.
But he's a pain in a good way. It's a respect thing. It's not a hate thing. Like, just even the fact that 38, he knows how to move back and drift and catch that pass. He's such a good player, man.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Such a good player.
Legitimately one of my favorites.
JP is in the chat, says Knicks tape 100. So, yeah, do I think, to answer your question, Brunson get 30 tonight? I'm going to say no.
Oh?
I'm going to say no. I see him around like 25, 26.
I don't think they could win if he doesn't get 30. Or at least like.
I agree.
I
agree.
Unless everyone else.
He got 29 last game and they won.
Yeah, I mean,
but Bridges had 29 too.
Oh, Giannobi had 29. He was the one at 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's
your point is they need somebody else to step out.
That's kind of because it's like you kind of need 2 of OG, McHale, and Karl Anthony Towns to have great games. Not necessarily all offensively because we talked about McHale's defense last game. So maybe he does, but I think he's gonna have to work very hard for it.
That's the thing. I think it'll be harder. What do you think? You think he gets it?
Let me check.
Brunson?
Yeah, Brunson has 2 points now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 1 for 6.
It's not a good start. So
it's not a good start.
Do you think he gets 30 tonight?
I hope not. I think he gets around like 25.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I just maybe I'm respecting the Celtics defense. That's what I'm doing. They'll make some adjustments.
But that's what it is. It's like, all right. If Derek White's not going to guard him this possession, then Drew Holiday can. All right. If he's not going to do it, then Jaylen Brown could. Then Jayson Tatum could. Then, like Peyton Pritchard could survive on him for a little bit. Like that's the thing. Al Horford, when he switches on, they have that was kind of my concern going into the series is like they have so many answers for Jalen Brunson. And it's like, this is why you needed the OG career breakout playoff game as far as the Knicks tenure goes. Like you needed that last game. That's not even shade. Like that's what the playoffs are. You need other guys to step up other than your stars to win.
The Knicks shot 6 of 23 in the first quarter. They got held to 13 points, guys.
Oof.
13 points.
Okay. Jeez.
They hit 1 3-pointer, 1 of 8 from downtown.
I don't know if that'll sustain.
The Celtics are on pace for 43 pointers. They took 10 in the first quarter. They shot 10 of 25 from the field.
See, that's not even good. They're 40% from the field. Boston's 30% from 3.
And they're plus 11.
Here's the point. It's like if Boston's up 11 and both teams have room for growth.
Yeah, but the difference is another difference that we saw in the last game. They're out rebounding. Boston is 19 to 13. They out rebounded by 10 in game 1. They're getting a lot of second chance points.
See, that's where the Knicks need Mitchell Robinson. But the problem is when Mitchell Robinson's out there, like he's been fine actually in this quarter for the most part, because he's gotten a couple dunks or whatever. But I wonder if like Tom Thibodeau's like, hey, can you play him for long stretches in this series? Just because, like, the 3-point shooting is directly like going to impact Mitchell Robinson's defense.
And they haven't gone to the hack of Mitch, but it's early.
Haven't needed to.
It's early.
And Tatum has 0 points right now.
And he's
that scares me.
But 7 rebounds. But you know what? I'm glad that he's working on the rebounds right now.
That scares me though.
That scares me
but
too.
Here's the other thing too.
A very good playoff.
Do you remember? I think it was game 2 of the finals last year where Tatum got killed because I think he finished with 11 points or something like that. He didn't have a good shooting night, but he had a really good game in terms of rebounding, dishing the ball. He had like 12 or 13 assists.
Probably defense too because he plays defense.
Yeah, and I remember people killing him, and I was like, yo, he's having a really good game. If you guys are watching this game, you'll see how good of a game he's having. Tatum can control the game without scoring. He's good in rebounding. He's good defensively, and he can create. So if he's not scoring, but you'd think he'd be killing you more.
He will score. That's the thing.
He will eventually. Probably scores right here. Watch him. Probably does right here.
That's good defense.
Oof.
That was good defense.
I think if you're the Knicks, you want Jayson Tatum to take those shots. And if you're Boston, obviously, you don't want him to have to work too hard to get those shots. Like, the process there.
Dominican on Dominican action.
Oh.
The old Dominican wins. Al Horford, sorry to call you old.
Al Horford should give it one more run with the national team, I think. Although as a Puerto Rican, I'm not sure I want that because I'm not sure like we got somebody to answer that.
There you go.
There's a cut, yeah.
There's his first
point. Keep it rolling from here.
Nothing Deuce could do there but hard foul, and he wasn't even like really in range to do that.
Gerard Hector, our last guest, he's in the chat. He said we saw some ugly shooting in that first quarter.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we did.
Look again. This is not.
And one.
Wow.
Woo!
You hate to see it.
There's some bar in DR that's like some people are like, yeah, those people are like, ah.
Or in Boston. Like, you know, like.
Have you watched a game that Horford or Kaz played in the DR? Have you done that? Like, have watched the NBA, or have you watched an NBA game?
I have. I want to say, I think it was 2 years ago. I watched Celtics playoff game and in DR, and I actually went around Puerto Plata and got reactions from everyone saying, you know, who do you think is going to win between the Warriors and the Celtics? And I actually got mixed reviews. Like, not everybody said that. Everybody
who was out there rooting for the Warriors.
There's Curry fans out there.
That's the thing. Curry travels.
Curry travels.
Curry's a worldwide.
I know they want to go with the hotel guy. The country
not
man.
Everyone.
I mean, look, and ultimately they were right because the Warriors won.
I mean, they were right. I actually picked the Warriors in that series too.
Me too.
And won. Let's go, Cat.
Wow.
You gotta be happy for your Dominican brother.
I'm happy for him, but against
against
the Celtics, you know who I'm going for.
I do.
Do you think Cat is like embraced out there? Obviously not to the degree that Al Horford is, but
I would say yes, but obviously not to the degree.
Yeah.
But I do love that Cat is building a basketball facility in Santiago, which is
where
his mom
was from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, he's honoring her, building it, I believe, in her name. So he's really doing his part to make sure that he's connected to the country, connected to his people, his roots, which I love because he obviously grew up with a Dominican mom who, you know, fed him Dominican food, you know, showed him the culture. So he absolutely embraces it, which I love.
Plays for the national team too. Played for them in the World Cup. Did he play in qualifiers? I don't remember if he played in qualifiers, but played for them in the World Cup and played great also. And Dominican national team's actually been really good. They've done a lot better the last couple of years.
Yeah. They love having him.
Yeah,
so.
I know the FIBA account's trying to see if he could play, or not trying to see, but they were tweeting like, "Oh, should Cat play in the America Cup?" And I was like, "Please no." We ain't got no centers, bro.
He's cooking Al right now. Yeah. He's cooking Al.
This is one of the guys that they need him to. Someone messed up on the graphic.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Celtics.
That was one of the guys that needs to step up for the Knicks. And this is the thing. Like, Boston's having one of these cold stretches, and look, they're taking these mid-range isolation too early in the shot clock shots. It's campaign time.
He hit that, he was feeling himself.
Every time he takes up a stupid shot, I'm like, it's campaign time.
Gerard said, "Old man Horford struggling last few possessions." Grady's gonna be like, "Watch your mouth." Watch your mouth, Gerard.
Another possession.
No.
Big steal. Al, we were trying to help you look good here.
Yeah, I think Al needs to take a break.
He's a breather. Speaking of DR, I've actually never been to the DR.
Oh, you gotta go.
It's crazy.
Got to go.
I haven't been to DR. That's crazy. That hasn't happened of my travels throughout the Caribbean.
It's a quick flight, like a 3-hour flight.
I know. You know what? All right.
It's no excuse.
I got to get to DR.
Yes.
You have to take a trip to my island.
I've been twice this year already.
I seen.
I got to go home.
You see what she told me? I've been twice this year. Where you been, Dex? Where you been?
No.
What you been doing? Why haven't you got
I know
to
you've
DR,
been
Dex?
working. I know you've been busy.
Nah, but you know what? Maybe that might have to be my either. When do you know what? Let me ask you this. Because when I go to Grenada, I have my times I like to go. When do you like to go to DR?
I like to, that's home. I like to go whenever I can.
It's always good.
But, I went in January and I went in March, and it was great because it was, there aren't a lot of tourists, at least during, because it's, school, kids are in school and all that. But, and it's not crazy hot. Obviously in the summer, it's hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's, very bearable, to be outside and all that.
That's a great time.
Yeah.
Late winter, early spring.
Yeah.
Great time to hit wherever if you like the Caribbean, great time to hit there. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Dominican spot here in New York that you like to go to as far as food?
Well, I love to go to Dykeman whenever I can.
Yeah,
I love me a little brunch in Dykeman, and there's a few spots.
There's a few spots up there.
What's the name of the one spot that we always go to? Let me look it up.
God, I haven't done brunch. I haven't done brunch.
But low key, I don't know if I want to give people that. Because it's just like that's
sometimes
you know what I mean? You can't always
if you make the spot too hot, then you try to go.
But low key, the spot is always full. Like it's kind of.
But you don't need to get fuller.
Yeah. It don't need to get fuller.
I mean, look, this is one of the things that like you see on social media now too. So there's a chicken spot that I've told you about, and I'm not going to name the.
Yes, the one I went to with you that one time, right?
It is in.
It's in like the Bushwick border. Yeah,
Bushwick,
I remember. I went, and I've been back there without you.
It's by where I used to live.
Yes, I went to that spot.
But I saw them pop up on one of these food Instagram pages.
It's a wrap.
One of the influencers went out there, and I was like, "No, bro! Like, I'm happy for their business, but like, yo, come on."
There's a spot in the Bronx. There's a spot in the Bronx when I used to work in the Bronx that I love. There's one of my favorite. I'm probably now I'm gonna be like you guys. I'm not gonna say it. If you're Dominican in the Bronx, I guarantee you know the spot. It's all I'll say is in Castle Hill.
Ooh, they always can't buy a basket.
They always leave Derek White open. It's the craziest thing.
And you know what? I hear you. Sometimes you can't give away all the spots.
You can't. You got to gatekeep. We need to bring back gatekeep.
You know what?
Like for certain things online, we need to bring back gatekeep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Greydy.
No, it's called República. But it's a really good brunch spot. They have Dominican food. Oh my gosh. Have you guys had Dominican breakfast before?
Yes.
I have actually, yes.
You like mango?
Yes.
I love mango. Oh my gosh, it's so good. My mom makes the best mango, and I'll put it against everybody's mango.
I mean, if you didn't, your mom should be like, "What are you doing, Greydy?"
Listen.
If you gotta, I mean, not that everybody's mom could cook, because I'm sure there's moms out there that are not doing it in the kitchen. But I believe your mom is on point with the mango.
Nice.
I believe
it's so good, man, with the onions on top, the vinegared onions.
I've been told by my producers you should have brought some in. They said you failed. You should have brought some in for the.
Yeah, I didn't tell you
actually, but we talked about like food to eat during a game.
That's maybe not. Maybe that's not.
No. If you have like the salamis and the plantain, like the salami, green plantains,
like tostones, like
tostones. Yeah, just not everyone knows. You know what I mean? But
they can look it up. Google's free.
So this is true. This is true.
Tostones are great.
I remember when I used to work in the Bronx, I used to go to the spot I was talking about a lot. I used to go a lot because all the food is so good. And people who are not ethnic were always like, "What are you eating? This is so interesting." I was like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" I'm like, and I didn't want to tell them either. You know what I'm saying? I know there's coworkers, but I was like, "Nah, man, you're gonna make the spot too hot." Like,
that's the thing. When I go uptown, I go to see my people.
Yeah.
I want to see us. I don't care. Like,
I
want to see us. Like, that's just what I want to do in that moment. You know what I mean?
I completely get that.
So yeah, in that
you
case,
understand what I'm saying?
I'm
though?
a gatekeep too. In that, like, in certain situations and scenarios, like, no.
Plus, you know, it's funny because I haven't been. It's been a while since I've been up to Dykeman or the Heights to like just kick it and eat. And I was talking to Hector, our friend Hector. I was talking to him about that too.
Yeah, because he's up there.
He's up there, and I was saying I haven't been up there in a while to just like eat and kick it. And I was asking him, I was like, "Yo, are the restaurants there? Are they still, Dominican owned?" Because I've seen I've seen with like I grew up in Flatbush, so I'm from Caribbean, and I've seen restaurants
you gotta tell me
change,
of course,
or be culturally appropriated, right? And I'm like,
it's called gentrification.
Yeah. And so you're like, yo, what's going on here? Like it's like, okay, so I'll tell the story real quick.
Oh shit! All right, we got a commercial break. 30 to 23 Celtics. If you're watching,
I do some work with New York Association of Black Journalists, and one time there was a group of us who had a meeting. And we had a meeting at this restaurant in Crown Heights. Now, I'm not mentioning the restaurant's name, not because I don't know the restaurant's name, but because I completely forgot what the restaurant's name is. You'll understand why in a second. So a couple of the people who were in this group are all Caribbean, all from the West Indies. And we go to this restaurant. It's supposed to be this West Indian spot. And one of the people who was sitting with me, Christina Carrega, my good friend Christina Carrega, fellow journalist.
Hell yeah.
Christina, who Christina actually is, half Bayesian, half Dominican.
Oh wow, what a mix!
So we're sitting there, and I don't remember what came out. I can't remember what came out. We both kind of like looked at each other. We tasted the food, and it was like, "Yo, this is like not authentic.
It's not hidden."
I think it was like so we was having some saltfish, some bacalao, as you'll say too. So it was. Yeah. No, it wasn't ackee and saltfish. My producer asked me. No, it wasn't that. But it was. It just did not taste right. So we look around the restaurant, and let's just say I was able to see like towards the back where the chefs were, and the chefs did not look Caribbean.
Oh, no.
And
that's like going to a tourist trap in a different country.
Yes. Yeah. But what was crazy was literally that same night, we leave there because we were like, oh, this food's kind of whack. Same night, my homegirl, who's from St. Vincent, texts me. And she's like, hey, me and her husband are going to go to this place. And she sends me the place. And I'm like, no, don't go. I'm like, don't do it. It's not good. It's terrible. She's like, but Dex, there was this whole article in the New York Times about it. And I was pissed at this article because the article said, if you're from Brooklyn, Crown Heights, Brooklyn, big Caribbean neighborhood. I went to high school there.
Yeah.
It said this restaurant was causing a flavor explosion in Crown Heights. That would be like if some non-Dominican people opened up a spot in Washington Heights and they said the flavor explosion is coming to Washington Heights. You're like, the flavor explosion has been here.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
I was so annoyed by that. Sorry, that was a wild story.
That's wild.
This is why sometimes you got to either know the authentic spots or talk to the people that know the authentic spots. Because I don't know who chose that restaurant that day, but I blame them.
Yeah,
I blame them.
It's like the New York Times writing about like, oh, there's a real authentic Mexican spot coming to this neighborhood, and it's a Chipotle. So I get it.
Oh my God.
And I don't hate Chipotle, but like we know what it is, But Chipotle doesn't sponsor this, so I don't care.
Chipotle. All right. Well, back into this game. Karl-Anthony Towns starting to put in work here. He's been good. We got an 8-0 run straight by him. He's got more points than the rest of the Knicks team. At one point he did. Now he's 12 of the 23 points.
Jeez.
He's got more than the rest of the Knicks team here.
A lot of them in this quarter.
Well, they're really trying to feature him too.
Yeah, now Jalen Brown is on him.
Ugh, wow. Easy miss by Brunson. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Gerard's there. Hey, Simi, my daughter who always checks in. My daughter she's always watching.
Her name's Simi?
Her name's Simone. Call her Simone.
Hi, Simone.
There you go. Simone. She has not missed a game yet. So I appreciate that.
She's locked in.
She's locked in.
I love it.
She's locked in.
Who's her favorite player? Is she a favorite player?
Who is her favorite player?
So Quickly was her favorite player.
Okay.
And then he got traded. And I felt bad.
Then you have to explain the business of basketball to your
daughter. And she didn't like that. Right now, she asked me for a cat jersey. She wants a Karl-Anthony Towns jersey. That's her guy.
I like that. I like that. I like that. You're gonna get one. Get the Dominican, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Simi, right? You told Daddy you wanted the Karl-Anthony Towns jersey. I think that's what she said she wanted.
I'm a little surprised she didn't go with Brunson, but
she wanted 32.
Brunson's probably like everyone's choice.
Maybe.
Yeah, so she wants to be different.
Yeah. I saw some kids the other day at a school with Celtics jerseys, and I was like disgusted.
On my walk here, I saw one man with a Celtics t-shirt, and I was just like, "You're my people." Respect.
Oh man,
another
respect.
Yo, so the Celtics keep doing this, where like they're getting these, like Derek White is finding these lanes. He's drawing two. He's passing to Luke Cornett at the last second. Luke Cornett's doing a great job of just rotating over, and like the Knicks are not catching on to this. They've already done it like 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure if Luke Cornett has actually made all the layups,
He missed one.
But
he missed one.
Derek White's doing a great job of finding him, and the Knicks haven't picked up on it yet. I want to see if this continues.
Tatum on.
The step back. Damn, we got
missing
everything.
I know.
Damn, that was a good crossover too, man.
That's why this game is close right now.
Yeah, the Knicks have been better this quarter without Jalen Brunson really doing much.
That's a good block.
Wow,
that's a great block by Tatum.
The good help. Yeah, look at Drew.
See that kind of. Go ahead. Are you gonna say?
No, you go ahead.
No, did you like that three that you did there by Derek White?
Oh my goodness.
That's fine. You didn't miss much. He missed it too. There's Brown. Oh, finally, you see the Knicks offensive rebounds are killing the Knicks.
Needed that.
That should have been a one and done possession for the Knicks.
Yep, Knicks should have had the rebound there. Our guy Greg Film Stuff is in the chat.
What up, Greg?
He said every time a critic says flavor explosion, it's a lie. I would happen to agree, Greg. I would happen to agree.
Isolation. Double clutch.
Man, that's tough. That's
double clutch.
That's the second time he got hard. He said you can't effing hold me. Is that true?
Look at this. Look at the double clutch.
Man.
It's funny because like he
talk your stuff.
Yeah, he's talking his stuff.
That was a good bump.
And rocking his own shoe. You love to see it.
You do love to see it. This has been I gotta look at all these field goal percentages. This has been an ugly shooting first half.
Is Jaylen Brown the most disrespected Finals MVP other than Andre Iguodala in recent memory? Probably, right?
Probably.
He deserved it. Why are people so mad at him getting it, or thought it was an indictment on Tatum that Tatum didn't get it?
That's the other thing too, right? Like, you know what? People think it's an indictment on Tatum because he won it in both series. So you got the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and obviously the NBA Finals MVP. But as I brought up, I did think it was funny though that despite that, Tatum got the ring last on ring night, and I was like, Jaylen Brown. I get why Tatum's last because like he's more accolades and the better all around player. But I feel like Jaylen Brown, like you could give him like the last ring, you know, like.
Long three.
Ooh.
That's back-to-back air balls. OG just had one. Now he had one.
TV fools you because that looked okay.
It looked like it might have been good. I was like, oh.
It looked okay coming out of his hands, but that shit was nowhere close.
Not even close at all. Oh, God.
Oh,
this has not been a good game.
God,
like it's been an interesting game.
Drew is on him.
The sloppiness on both, like this was a bad pat. The Knicks had another
7 turnovers for the Knicks and 6 for the Celtics.
Knicks had another one a couple plays ago, just not on the same page either.
Ooh.
I mean, look, it's a game. Both teams are in it, but not aesthetically pleasing. Attacking Brunson, look at that.
Good closeout by Hart. He tried to sell that. Not gonna get that.
He got
you can't. Come on.
He got it late.
Come on.
Call it earlier. Don't.
But he didn't even. I'm not sure he touched him.
Let's see.
I'll see this again. I'm not even sure that he touched him.
He knew he was gonna. He knew he was.
He
gonna
sold
get the
it.
call.
I was like, even when he got, I was like, he's gonna try to sell that. Is that 3? That's 3 on Hart too.
Let's see.
That could have been a foul.
I was gonna say that could have been a foul on Brunson. All right, let's see.
Well, thanks. That helps.
Yeah.
Oh, they're showing me.
They showed the elbow on Brunson, but like, that's not what the foul was called on.
Hard, I believe that's 3.
So Boston's 4 for 19 from 3. So eerily similar, 21% right now.
No, it's only 2 on Hart.
Not even 40% from the field either. But they have this lead, and it's like this is still like a runaway. And we've seen 4 20-point comebacks in the playoffs already. So like you can never feel like any game is too out of reach, especially this early. You just can't anymore.
That guy was wearing a number 6 Knicks jersey.
That's Porzingis.
Or it could have been Landry Fields, or it could have been Quentin Grimes. I don't know.
Fields was 6?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He wasn't 9?
No, I'm pretty sure.
I think I'm right about this. Hold on.
Or was he? I don't remember. Whatever.
Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Landry Fields. Oh, he was 6. Okay. It was 9 upside down. Same thing. A lot of dudes had Landry Fields
Celtics
jerseys.
defense
I didn't forget.
I had
forget.
one.
Really?
A jersey shirt, not a jersey.
Okay. I'm a little surprised at that.
I liked his defense. Celtics defense started. The Knicks. See, this is like the end of the second quarter. Oh my God!
I swear.
Count it.
He's always open.
We needed that one.
Honestly, like one of these series, he's gonna win MVP if they go to the finals again. Like he was in conversations to be an all-star this year. Like he's one of the best, like just two-way guards
for sure
in the league.
This kind of feels like game one, where like the end of the second quarter, the Celtics are kind of pushing away, getting close to 20. The Knicks just
so it's like
they just don't got the offense.
Is Boston gonna have are Boston gonna have the clean looks in the second half, or are they just gonna revert back to like the isolation stuff that killed them last game? And then they were just taking a whole bunch of bad threes. Like taking threes, I get that. Because that's what they do. But the threes they were taking at the end of the fourth quarter were just like very contested. They were dribbling into them instead of like obviously being in rhythm.
Yeah.
The sucky thing for the Knicks, right, is that like they just got back into it. They cut it down to 6. They had all those misses, and then you saw the run. But you're sitting here looking like, yo, but I seen this movie before with the Celtics. I've seen them get these leads.
You're not that confident.
And blow them.
I'm never too comfortable because you can't be. We've seen it in past years. So that's what I know. That's what I'm used to. I'm used to them being up. I'm used to them blowing a lead, and I hate that for me. But you can't get too comfortable. So
the Knicks fan is like, yeah.
I'm serious though.
Yeah. I know, but it's true. It's been. Bryan said it in the last game, like it wasn't shocking when they blew the lead because this thing has been kind of part of their DNA, right? Like,
I was shocked that they blew it to the point that they lost, but that was because
I'd have to say that too.
That was because of the shooting. Again, like they shot, it was like 1 for 15 for a stretch, something like that, where it was like, despite the ebbs and flows of their shooting, they don't do that typically. Yeah. If they're doing it again right now, kind of, but typically they don't.
Yeah, right now Celtics on a 12-3 run
after the Knicks had a run. Also,
I've been catching up on Last of Us.
Don't spoil anything yet. I'm not there yet. Do you watch Last of Us, Greydy?
I don't.
Okay.
Do you play video games at all?
I used to when I was a kid.
Oh damn.
Okay. I know.
Are you familiar with like?
Are
you familiar with The Last of Us? Like the fact that it was a game before it.
No.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Okay. It's a really good game.
The game is amazing. We both played it. Both of them actually.
And they've been doing a good job with the story in it so far.
Yeah. So the show itself it's based on the game, but it has its own like remix or whatever. It's really good. I haven't started season 2 yet. I'm behind on everything. The playoffs. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm behind on everything. I haven't even finished WrestleMania yet, Nico. My bad. But like I'm almost there.
Nikolai says he's very disappointed.
He should be. Honestly, I'm disappointed in myself.
Do you watch wrestling?
When I was a kid,
See, I got off of that too.
Man, it was so much fun though as a kid.
Yeah, I can't do it no more. I haven't done the wrestling anymore.
And I actually interned at the WWE when I was in
college.
Yeah.
Do tell. Yeah. How did that go?
It was so cool. I mean, I would see all the executives.
What era was this?
This was like 10 years ago. So Stephanie McMahon was still working there.
That's true.
Her husband, Triple H.
He's running the show now.
I saw the McMahons all the time. Yeah.
No further questions.
Did you go to any events? Like any tapings or shows or?
I gifted a lot of tickets
because
I worked in their community relations, so I got to give my Boys and Girls Club a bunch of tickets. That's really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, so I was in school. I didn't have time to really go to many.
10 years ago, that was a good time for them, actually.
Yeah,
I'm remembering that time.
Yeah.
That was when NXT started blowing up.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember going to a couple shows I was still like in college, so I wasn't like,
Yeah, and you know who I interned with? McFoley's daughter.
Noelle Foley.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. We were interns at the same time.
Wow.
Shout out to Mick Foley. New York legend.
Right.
Also, Long Island native.
Island native, yep.
And also like just you want to see like very intense, violent wrestling. Mick Foley's entire career, some of which I'm sure he regrets. He's written books about and stuff. That's crazy that you intern with Noelle Foley.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of WWE questions, but we'll not for this because then it'll turn into a wrestling show.
Right. Who's that out on?
Dex won't appreciate that.
No, I won't.
Nico will.
He will. You wrestling fans are. You know what? I'll save this for later. There's a video game wrestling fan overlap.
See, Greg knows ball. He said in the chat, he left a comment about one of the wrestlers, and I'm like, okay.
Jada Parker's the only reason why I might get into wrestling again.
She's a fan favorite.
Here's the thing. I've seen, so I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
She's a fan favorite.
I understand. I will say that. All right, Knicks got this back to 12, trying to close this quarter out strong. If Derek White hit another three,
that looked good.
I was about to walk out the room.
A lot of these threes look like they're in line.
Derek White he has to have attempted 8 threes already.
3 of 8?
Is he? Yeah. No, he's 3 of 6, actually.
Okay.
I thought he shot
50%.
I need one more because I had him over 3.5.
He gets the threes up,
I don't bet a lot of money again. I'll reiterate that. I don't want Grady thinking I'm out here like just because I work at Action that I'm a gambling addict. That's
good pass ahead. Finish.
Oh,
there you go, OG.
That's timeout.
10-point lead.
Yeah, from 16. I know. You're saying you're like Dex C.
If you're the Knicks, you want this single digits.
That would be nice.
And if you're Boston, you want this to get to like 15 plus, which is I think where it was last time.
It was 16.
Yeah. Look at that again.
Oh, that's a turnover
again. And so the Knicks had a little better scouted there, but Luke Kornet just cuts at the perfect time.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we saw from Asar Thompson.
Yes.
Over Detroit.
Yep. Detroit kept hitting that.
Oh, it's still Celtics ball.
It was tipped out. Detroit kept hitting that cutter, and it was usually Asar Thompson. Oh wow, physical post up.
Man,
Drew Holiday's another one who's aged like very gracefully. Look on Mikal Bridges too. Wow. I mean, granted, he's probably stronger than Mikal Bridges, but still.
Yeah.
That's tough for the Knicks because they had him late in the shot clock. They thought they had him stopped, and these next 3 to 4 possessions are to me huge.
Yeah,
huge for the Knicks.
Huge, but not everything, but huge.
The Knicks can't have this go back up to like 16 like the last game. I think the Celtics their offense is more diverse. They're playing a little bit better. They're missing a lot of open stuff too.
Yeah, and eventually,
it has to hit.
Eventually.
That would be my concern if I'm the Knicks. Oh,
nice patience. Knock it down. There you go, Brunson.
That would be my concern with because you can't assume Boston's just going to keep missing.
Nah, you can't.
Like the entire series.
They're too good. They're too good for that.
And they keep generating quality looks. That's the main thing.
Oh, it's good deflection.
OG's had a good series so far.
Got Holiday bite real hard.
I'm surprised Drew sold out on that. Now that I'm looking at it again, because Drew's super disciplined.
In the chat, Greg says that Grady says you are cool for a Celtics fan. Salute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try not to, overdo it with the fandom in terms of just, like I'm not overtly, extra.
Nah, I'm kind of the same. Yeah. You can't be a
and also just like working in the industry, you kind of keep it low a little bit. And I have friends like I'm cool with Mikal. You know what I mean? So like I just don't overdo it.
Yeah. Nah, you can't. I think working in the industry kind of I don't say subdues a little bit of your fandom because I enjoy the games.
For sure.
It does. You have a different perspective on it. Let's see what the Knicks do here. The Celtics do on his final possession. Brown. Oh.
He attacked.
Do you like how they've played better here in the first half in terms of attacking and maybe not settling for as many threes?
Yeah. I think it's important to find diversify your shots, which I think that they've done, but they just haven't made.
That's the problem.
A lot of
That's the frustrating part, I think. You're right.
But I think in the second half, I'm hoping that they just turn it around in terms of, making their shots. So we'll see.
All right, so the worst the Knicks could go into the half is down 10. Well, barring they turn the ball over and the Celtics score again.
With Jalen Brown, you never know.
That's fair. This is by today's NBA standards a low scoring first half.
Right up my alley though.
Yeah, you love this.
I like grindy, disgusting low scoring basketball, just because I like watching teams struggle through possessions in the fourth quarter, and that tends to happen more so when it's low scoring and both teams just can't. Like, I don't know. I find joy in that. Maybe it reminds me too much of like high school because we had some low scoring games.
Oh, he misses one.
Oh boy, Cat, just throw it up.
Oh. Okay, 50-41, Celtics lead at the half. Greydy is smiling for now, but she's like, "Look,
it's like half a
she's
smile."
like half.
It's half
I was
a
gonna say
smile.
you're half a smile.
I like half smiles
because on one side,
half smiles
like,
make me not trust people.
On one side is like you got the lead, and then the other side is like,
I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. It might change. But let us know in the chat how you feel. Knicks fans, are you feeling good? You're down 9. You're in this game. Could have got worse. You closed the second quarter pretty good. Celtics fans, if you're rocking with Greydy, you can let us know how you feel as well too. There's got to be some Celtics fans here. We had Pistons fans in here in the last one, so you might find your people in here.
We had a few Celtics fans last time, but like they kind of bolted once the game ended.
Yeah, they were gone after that. they said some things and they were out. They were like, I'm not sticking here. All right, so we're gonna take our break like we do at halftime. We'll be back with second half, watching analysis, all that good stuff when we come back in the New York Got Game Knicks live watch party with the great Grady Diaz. We'll see y'all at the start of the third quarter. All right, so we are back here. Knicks missed a shot. Celtics missed a shot. Knicks missed a shot to start the third quarter. 50-41. It is still a game. Although Greydy probably anticipates that the Celtics are going to blow a lead again.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, another steal. This is still sloppy. This first half was so sloppy.
What is that?
What is going on?
I don't know.
What is going
not
on
good basketball.
Here?
Maybe they needed another day of rest or something because this is
the schedule's not
tough
doing
to
them
watch.
Favors. 2 days rest after this until leading up to game 3.
Yeah,
which is going to be. I mean, that game's going to tell me a lot.
Will you be at the Garden for game 3?
I don't know.
Thought you were going to go and support your people.
We shall see. We shall see.
I hear you. We shall see. All right. 50-41. Can somebody score in this quarter, please? Here's your boy Tatum. Well,
count it. Let's go.
I don't think you wanted him to
That's
score
my
next.
guy.
No, that's not what I wanted at all.
But you know what? The Knicks just gave him the walk-in 3, and that's the 3. If he's not going to have a catch-and-shoot 3, that's the 3 that he excels at.
That's the 3 he excels at. Come on, Knicks.
Look at Drew. Making
Jalen Brunson work. He doesn't like that foul, but
yeah,
they're gonna give it to him.
I think NBA players are not liking the fouls that Jalen Brunson gets.
No, they're not.
Wait, so are you calling him a flopper?
Yes, I hate flopping. They need to figure that out. I hate flopping. It's the worst.
Who is the worst?
There needs to be technical fouls or something for flopping. I'm sick of it.
Who are the most egregious floppers in the NBA?
I mean, Jalen Brunson's one of them.
Wow.
1,000%.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, you'll live with that, I think, if you're Boston. But that's a great shot by Cat. Jalen Brunson, who else?
I don't know. I'm blanking right now watching this game. Ooh.
James Harden.
Trae Young be flopping.
James Harden, not as much anymore. Oh, boy.
All right, seventh. That's his 7th point. Let's continue. It's turn up time, baby.
That's crazy. We're in the third quarter. You're like, this is Jayson Tatum's 7th point. That's how bad the offense is.
Not a great sign because he could.
He's got back-to-back buckets for him.
Yeah,
he can very easily get it going.
Here's the Brown on
Jalen Brown's going to compete, man. Look at the help from Horford.
Great help. Can you imagine running into Al?
No, seriously.
No, I
thinking
can't.
That you're. No. Oh, you got Jalen off of you. No,
this guy's shooting again.
He is so open every time. Josh Hart in transition.
Ooh.
Oh, nice finish. Nice finish by Hart.
That's a great bump by Josh Hart.
Okay, here's another question for Grady. I'm surprised we didn't get to this. Do you like the Celtics wearing green at home?
I love the Celtics in green.
At home.
Because we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of white jerseys. Or black. Like, black is cool, but Celtics green is so beautiful to me.
I like the Celtics white jerseys at home, man.
I mean, it's cool, it's nice, but I love green.
Wow. Why do you not like white jerseys?
I've never loved white jerseys for some reason.
You'd like to see going for color.
Yeah, I like color. You'll never see me buy a white jersey. None of that.
That I get. I never used to. When I
had a couple white jerseys, Knicks white jerseys.
I never
had a white jersey. It's fine. I love the Knicks and Celtics jersey. I just think you should wear white at home, green on the road. Wear the color.
Oh boy.
That's where Cat can get in trouble. He had some good baskets. Good non-foul there by Brunson.
He almost did it.
Yeah, but the Knicks just had it down to 8, now back up to 10. Okay.
Early timeout.
All right. This is where Cat, is a little bit too aggressive on the perimeter, and so Tatum just pick his pocket.
He was feeling himself after those couple shots he made.
Rightfully so, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was. It's funny. We saw Tatum make back-to-back shots. We saw Towns make back-to-back crazy shots.
What are the jerseys you had as a kid? You never bought a white jersey either?
No.
I never had one either. I'm realizing.
Really?
Now.
I had a couple Jets when I used to root for that team.
Okay, wait. I had a Jonathan Vilma white Jets jersey when I was a Jet fan.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're a Patriots fan, too.
I told you.
Oh,
New England, Boston,
that's a tough
everything.
one for me. I ain't gonna.
That's the one I got to look at you. I'm
I mean, we had the greatest quarterback of all time for a long time.
Do you see how happy she was to say that? She was so happy to say it. Look, I don't root for the Jets anymore, so
me neither.
But
there's so much pain in my childhood because of you guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The last time the Jets made the playoffs, I was 17 years old.
Sheesh.
Okay? Like that. This is a long time, and I had braids.
Don't try to.
Wow.
I've seen pictures. I've seen pictures of this.
Yeah,
my
sister was braiding my hair during the AFC Championship, and we lost to the Steelers. It was we back then, but now I don't care.
Astrid here in the chat says Jayson Tatum's so annoying. What's that? Greg says, "Yikes!" Knicks fans, how are we feeling? Grady's, how you feeling? You're feeling?
I feel good. I think we're up by 10, right?
Up by 10.
Up by 10. Listen, as long as we're in the lead, I'm okay. But I need that lead to be a lot bigger.
Need that lead to be a lot bigger.
Yes. How do you feel? How do you guys feel?
This game,
oh my gosh, you're asking me all the questions now.
Yeah, you feel fine to ask some questions too.
It's more of a him question.
This game has gone a little bit different than I expected.
Okay.
Like I thought the Celtics were going to come out.
I thought they were going to stop them out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Listen, there's plenty of time for that to still happen.
It's
time.
We ain't trying to hear that, but
no. But I thought they were come out the gate and like just bombing threes.
It's been so sloppy
this game
for both teams.
Yeah,
and the Knicks aren't playing their best, and they're still.
I think that's what makes me nervous, though, because you feel like the run is coming, right? Like the run is coming.
I would think the run could come for Boston, but the run could come for the Knicks too.
I like the run the Knicks had when it was 16 and get it down to like 8 or 6 or whatever they had in the first half. They're hanging tough, but the Knicks just need to get this close late. That's when you start feeling good as a Knicks fan, because this is where Brunson can shine. So I'm feeling like this is the time where the game is kind of hanging in the balance, you know? Yeah. Ashford said, so glad the braids left.
Well, the Knicks only have 2 players in double figures
also
right
Dominican
now.
Checking in on
chat
also.
Yeah, Astrid, which Dominican are you here for? You here for Cat? Are you here for Al Horford? What are you here for? That's what we.
Something tells me it'll be Al Horford.
Greg here says the Knicks defense has been encouraging. I would agree, but I also feel like some of it is the Celtics just missing shots that you normally think they would hit.
Yeah.
I'm not. 2 things can be true. The Knicks could be playing good defense, and the Celtics are missing some open shots.
Yeah.
You've been frustrated with the open shot misses, but you know, and you just said the Knicks only have 2 players in double figures.
Yeah, but the Celtics only have 3 because they've missed so many shots.
Knicks don't have a starter in positive in terms of plus minus.
I think the stats out because they're ahead.
Yeah,
they might spoil something for you.
It does not actually. But yeah,
that's why I look at when we're
in break. I hear you.
Yeah, they're in timeouts and stuff.
I think the Knicks just have to hang tough in this third quarter. They can't let this get back. I would say
another different
15.
look for Towns. Oh,
good footwork.
Oh.
Dominican on Dominican crime.
Out of here. Out of here. Man. Love when Al does that.
He rolls up for that.
See, I like Horford more today as a helper off of Cat than like
it's working
one-on-one.
Yeah, it's definitely working for them.
Ooh. Still, that was a bad pass.
That was a bad pass. Yo, open lane. Oh,
he did not want to challenge him. He did not want to do it. Oh man, he did not want to challenge Horford there. He saw that block. Ooh, challenge
nice step back.
Oh, good closeout.
I think that's my favorite move. The step back. Ooh, it's pretty. You just got to make it.
You can't let him walk into those.
In and out.
Too comfortable.
He loves doing that.
He's badly trying to find his shot. Jayson Tatum's so badly trying to find his shot right now. Oh, good closeout. Tough shot.
Knicks had their chances here to cut into this lead, and they just can't. Good defense by OG.
Bad pass.
Yeah. Also, it's good way to use the sideline as an extra man.
Oh,
and one. That's
a block.
That's definitely a block. That's absolutely was a block.
Let's see.
He's still moving his feet. That's a block.
Sometimes they call the impact though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you like lower your shoulder too much, I felt like that one was fine. But
Greg here in the chat says, must be nice to be a fan of a team entitled to 1,000 made threes a game. He's taking shots at how y'all play.
Sheesh. Tough crowd over here in New York, huh?
I feel like they're being kind to you. As kind as they could be.
I thought Greg was gonna say something else. I thought he was gonna say tough being like a fan of like, teams that win titles all the time.
That's what I thought.
Greg is he's still an angry Jets fan.
Like I remember, like I'm young enough to remember when the Red Sox were cursed.
Oh yeah.
But they've since won 4 titles.
4 titles since 2004.
Yeah. And as a Met fan, I'm like, can we get like one of those? One of those. You know?
Man, I thought Tatum was gonna pull right there.
Me too. But he was out of rhythm. Ugh, bad.
That's some stuff where I think Joe Mazzulla's pissed. He's like, that's not a good shot.
No. Yeah, like you wait for that, and that was good. That was smart for the Knicks.
No.
Oh,
charge! Wow!
Oh,
wow!
I don't know
I need
about
to see the
that.
replay on that.
Derek White got there, but I don't. Let's see if he got there in time.
That was murder in the air.
Let's
see. Shoot!
Let's see Derek White.
He's there in time.
They're gonna,
they're gonna give you that. I gotta.
That sucks.
That was
great
who was what was the other one that we had?
Jalen Brown on Brunson.
Man, I thought that was payback.
That one was a charge too. That one was more obvious, but this one was a make.
Wow. It's funny. I had to look at. Was his feet? I looked to me when I saw the replay.
He got there just in time, but like sometimes you see that and they still don't call it.
Damn, I'm surprised that was an offensive foul. I mean, you got to credit both Brunson and Derek White on both of those plays because
I know
they risked their lives out there. They're out there risking their lives, man.
When you're the short dude, sometimes you just,
Yeah, I mean,
just got to do it.
That's a tough one to take.
Depends.
Yeah, I hear you. Man, that got me out my seat. I thought that was going to count. That would have been a huge momentum shift for the Knicks.
Tough closeout. Josh Hart has to take that.
Wow. I almost thought they was going to call a foul on Jalen Brown on Cat. They were tussling. Knicks of 3 of 16 from downtown.
Look at that post up on McHale. McHale let him get way too deep.
Way too deep. Too easy.
Tatum's so good at using his body, though. Was that 13 now? 13.
Yeah. Knicks are just down to 9. Now back up to 13.
Ooh.
I like that. I like that cut there, but I like that.
That's a good pass.
And the Knicks are not going away. Knicks are not going away, Grady, at all whatsoever.
Jalen Brown. That his first 3 or second?
I think it's his second 3.
That's a foul. There's your dumb cat foul.
Look at that fan. Look at that fan.
With the jersey.
I think he was upset because on that, I'm watching this foul again before I make my comment.
Yeah, come on, Cat. What are you?
He led with the elbow. You can't. Yeah. Now, do I think Brown flopped a little bit there? Yes. Should have got the tech. But I think that you can't lead with the elbow there. You just can't have it happen. Can't have it happen. See, every time this gets to this point, oh man, this is dangerous. See, Knicks. This is why I said this is the danger zone for me.
The hesitation.
Gets back to 15, 16. The Knicks just had it down to 9. Look, Celtics just right back up. Good pass.
That's a good 3.
Ooh.
Peyton Pritchard.
He's such a little shit. I really like him. I mean that in a complimentary way. Because I'm a little shit, so you know.
You are.
I thought he was gonna take that. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, see again, putting Cat into these pick and roll 18, situations.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is.
What do you think, Grady? You
listen. I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling good. Maybe that was my good luck today. The birds.
Do you like the
bird poop?
No. Do you like the process better in these last few possessions?
For sure.
They're getting much cleaner looks, it feels like. Right?
Way better looks. They're looking more confident. They're flowing better. And I mean, as we said in the first half, or before the first half ended, we were just like, they're going to start making shots. They're going to find their rhythm. And I think they're finally doing it now when it matters.
Are you encouraged that they're doing it more like in this run that they're on currently, like in the lane? So it's not just like, oh, they're actually getting hot from 3. It's like the diversification of their offense is continuing.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think that's super important because you need to have options at every single spot. So I think that they're finding their shots and I like their selections and they have confidence right now. Yeah. There's so much you could do when you have confidence. So
man,
they're up by 18.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, going at Cat a couple of times defensively, pick and roll situations. They got a couple threes, and now like the Knicks are kind of just hanging on. So it's similar to last game, but it feels a little bit worse. You think or no?
Yeah, I think it feels a little worse because the Knicks, the reason it feels worse is just I'm looking at the numbers here. Knicks shooting 17% from downtown. So they're 17. 17, yes. Okay. They're 3 of 17 and 9 in their threes.
I think last game they were 11 of 19 in the second half.
Yeah, so that's
well above 50%.
Now they're going to have to start shooting better. I mean, I'm looking at the other stuff. The rebounds are 28 to 37. So +9 for the Celtics. They're kind of in the same range where they were last game. It's not like the Celtics are shooting lights out from downtown. They're 7 of 25. They're 28%, but they do have 4 more threes in them. And they're only shooting 42% from the field. So the difference, a lot of that is the second chance points that you're looking at. And then Cat, who actually is a -19 in this game. Not that I put everything on +/-.
I agree. Shows the defense though.
Like, the defense Celtics are playing, and he's got 3 personal fouls. The Knicks don't have a lot of people in foul trouble. Neither do the Celtics. The Celtics don't have anybody with 3 fouls. So there hasn't been a lot of hacking and whacking in this game. It's just this to me is the danger zone. Once you get past 15, Grady, is where I'm like, either the Celtics are going to kill you,
right,
and blow this game open, which I know you would like,
yes,
or you're going to come back and make a run. The problem with the Knicks is they made a run. They've got it to 9. They've got it to 6. And the Celtics come right back.
Right.
But that's what good teams are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Listen, the Knicks are too good to not make a run against the Celtics. I think the Celtics know that. But you got to start hitting some shots and give up some second
Gerard said in the
points.
comments, it's like the Celtics aren't even making threes at their average rate. I would say it's not even close. Like, it's not even close to their average rate.
Nah, not even close.
And it's not to say like, oh, it's definitely, again, like they could have just another game where they're hardly above 30% for the entire game.
Yeah.
But their defense has been really good.
Yeah.
They're forcing the Knicks to take some tough shots. The Knicks are also just missing some point blank range shots. And on top of that, like, I just feel like their defense is more like they have better defensive chemistry this game.
Yeah, and I expected that from the Celtics, and I think this is what makes playoff basketball so good because you're always going to have these kind of adjustments. I see Barbershop Sports Talk podcast in here. Shout out to them. I'm going to be joining them on their pod next week.
What up?
Say, evening fam. Knicks look like they're just content with getting a 1-1 split. The offensive foul on OG is what's changing momentum for Boston. I do think that was a momentum changer.
I wouldn't say that they're content, with getting the 1-1 split. I would say like they're trying to, they're just losing the game,
Yeah, I think so too. I think they wanted to win this, but that did think that offensive foul. You saw me jump out of my seat. I thought he had to dunk on him.
He did.
But it was an offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was a wrong call. Now we're gonna see. That looks like
that's OG.
They hit OG twice.
Yeah.
And listen, the Celtics are getting the offensive rebounds. They're hustling. They're playing like a team that's desperate. That doesn't want that.
This.
They are going to review this.
Oh my goodness!
Another review.
Are you anti-reviews?
I don't mind them.
Yeah, I just
because I think sometimes you do need them.
It takes.
You absolutely need them.
Okay, would you rather the game move along a little bit faster and not spend 5 to 6, 7 minutes on every single review? Like, would you rather get 90% of the calls right so the game moves faster, or try to get like 100% and the game is slower?
That's tough. I think they have to figure it out to, make it better. But I do want a game that's called well.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take away from the flow of it either,
absolutely.
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
I want most of the calls to be right, but sometimes I'm like, yo, we can get over the human error. Like, we can just move it along a little bit. You know what my problem is though? Like in soccer and tennis, you have technology where these things are figured out very quickly.
Some people hate the VAR system in soccer. I've been fine with it. I think they get it done pretty quickly.
You get it right,
at
the rate you're supposed to, basically. Like offsides. Someone's there, they stand, they throw up the flag, we move on.
If they need to look at it on the goal, they usually get it pretty quickly.
And then tennis, it's like, all right, everyone claps, we see if it goes out of bounds, that's it, the end. Like, we move on.
I do think some of the stuff is too long. I agree.
Yeah.
This.
Then over here, it's like, oh, we get
it. It's like his.
It didn't hit OG's hand last.
Yeah, OG punched it out.
Yeah.
We saw the play. Let's move on.
Like, they were pretty. I mean, that was pretty quick. That wasn't too long. It was too long for your liking? I thought that was fine.
That one was fine. It was below average, but we still had to sit through a commercial.
Hey, league likes that. More ad revenue for them there. KP.
I like what I'm seeing. Up by 20, baby. Let's go.
Man.
Yeah, this is where I would start to be worried.
The
if
Knicks,
I were you, Dex.
I told you when they got into the danger zone.
For sure.
That they gotta close strong here.
How do you feel about KP now, Dex? Now that you're years removed from that trade that
let me see his 3. There we go, Josh Hart. People who know me, when the Knicks traded KP, I was not happy.
You were pissed. I remember laughing. You were so pissed. We were on the phone.
I was so pissed.
We were on the phone. You couldn't believe it. You're like, how? Dennis Smith Jr.
Which I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird because I still like KP and I think he's such a good player. I probably don't seeing him in
Jesus.
That's why he's so good.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why he's so good.
He's
he hits
OG
that
unicorn.
Shot. Yeah, he's OG unicorn. He stretches the floor. And you see this is where the Knicks should be scared because once he's healthy and he's been dealing with this viral illness and he could do these kind of things. And look at the Celtics defense is turning up.
Yeah.
He can do these kind of things.
Oh
my God. That's a play those guys
look at them. Look at them.
They're like, we've done this a million times.
I
know. He's so good, Grady, in what he could do for the team.
Yeah.
He's perfectly cast here, though, in Boston as like the number 3 guy. Shit, some games he could be the 4 guy.
Yeah.
But some games he could be the 1 or the 2.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
because he's that good. Like what he can do rolling the ball, how good he is defensively, then he can stretch the floor. So I'm still very high on him. I wish it kind of had worked for him and Luka in Dallas.
Yeah.
But that would have been scary.
Him, Luka, and Brunson. They had him, Luka, and Brunson on the same team.
On the same team.
Blew it up.
On the same team. And now they have none of them. It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
Brunson.
Ooh, that's a tough 3.
Yeah.
You see, the Celtics guards are so good at rebounding. The Knicks, I think their goals be, can you get to Steven like 14? This guy's shooting a 3 again.
Can you make the 4th, please, for the over-under? God damn it.
I mean, the Celtics right now are toying with the Knicks when you look at it.
Oh,
okay. Thank you, Deuce. Deuce was like, somebody needs to wake up with some points here. It would have been better if he dunked it on somebody. What is going on there on the court? What was that?
Know.
What was that?
Something spill?
So yeah, maybe it's that. Hopefully it's not like a Tracy Morgan situation.
Damn it. I was going to make that joke.
I hope it's not.
I was right there.
Offensive foul?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy call.
See, Brunson got the balls to take those. I appreciate that so much.
Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast says, the more I watch this game, I feel more confident the Knicks can win this series. Defense not bad, just hitting shots.
That's interesting. Grady,
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Man,
I don't like getting hit with sweetheart. So Barbershop gonna fire back. I do want to ask you, Grady, actually, because as someone who, I mean, Boston's had like a lot of great drafts across sports or whatever, but like to have Jalen Brown and Jayson Tatum for this long, it's such a rarity in today's NBA.
Yes.
Can you like talk a little bit about? I hate can you talk questions, so pardon me. But can you actually describe to us a little bit about like the ups and downs it's been with those two?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have 2 stars on one team. And I feel like,
okay,
I mean, they started off very young. You have to realize that
teenagers.
They were very young when they came to Boston, and just to see their growth has been amazing. I feel like at one point the media tried to do a John Wall, Brad situation, and like, no.
For years. Don't try to trade Jalen Brown for years.
And
that's only a couple years ago, too.
Yeah. For the title.
For sure. Yeah. But honestly, I love that they've, been able to work so well together. They've won a championship together.
Big shot here for Deuce.
Big
time 3. That's a huge hit for the Knicks.
That is.
Back to 12. The Knicks have responded.
It's an 8-0 run.
And maybe this is part of what Barbershop Talk Podcast is talking about, in the fact that he thought this White thinks they could win. The Knicks have played some good defense. They were in the danger zone. They might be out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think either team is playing their A game, but I feel like
which to me still should scare you if you're a Knicks fan. Celtics are not playing their A game.
I think Boston's a little further from theirs.
I agree with that.
From an offensive standpoint.
I'm sorry, I cut you off on what you were saying about Tatum and Brown and their youth. People forget that they came together so young.
And people have been trying to break them up for years.
Right.
I remember talking a couple of years ago to Gary Washburn, a longtime writer for the Boston Globe, about this, and he was just saying, like, people like, do they not like each other? He's like, that could be further from the truth. You know, when I heard someone like him say that, I'm like, oh, that's all I need to know.
Right.
He's like, no, those guys are on the same page. They want to win together. This might have been 3 years ago. It was before the year they played the Warriors. And it's just, I think that I always keep saying this, the Celtics are a good example that it's a process.
It is a process.
But people don't want to have the patience with the process. And look how many tweaks the Celtics have made.
A lot of tweaks.
A lot of tweaks.
A lot of tweaks.
They traded away Marcus Smart. And y'all love Marcus
coaching
Smart.
tweaks, team tweaks,
Yep.
front office tweaks. Like,
yeah,
they really ownership tweaks.
Ownership tweaks
you
now.
know?
No, you're right.
That's the one that would worry me if I were a Celtics fan.
Are you worried about that with the new ownership?
Not really.
Nah,
Should I be?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not really worried.
But I mean, it ain't your money, so you don't got to worry about it from that regard. But like, just like from a keeping the team together perspective, it's going to be challenging. But the Celtics, I mean, give them credit. They've proven they could win around the margins too.
Absolutely.
By finding like a Peyton Pritchard. You know, we'll see if Baylor.
Oh, good defense.
How Baylor Shireman plays.
I think Brad Stevens has done an incredible job. So kudos to him.
No, for
you
real.
know?
Yeah. Knicks defense. Knicks, I got to give the Knicks defense.
This is a big stretch.
It's a big stretch. They responded well to close this quarter. I thought.
And they won Boston in a close game because they want to get Brunson in a close game. That was a
wild shot by him. He was trying to get the foul.
I guess that was a floater. Would you have given him a technical foul? For the
maybe not that one.
It seems
that
like
wasn't as overt as the other ones are.
They had a foul to give.
Yeah, they did.
Dana White.
Is Dana White at the game?
Yeah, right there. Look.
Wow, there he is. Dana White rocking the Celtics jersey.
I mean, are you surprised?
I'm not.
Are you surprised that the president of the UFC?
No, I'm not surprised.
Come on.
Shout out to Dana White. He gave us a great interview in studio.
I think he's from. I think he's from. If not Boston, but Massachusetts, that area.
Yes, let me look it up.
I didn't know that.
I think
Manchester, Connecticut. I was just told he's from Manchester, Connecticut.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know he's a New England sports guy. I should have asked him that when he was in the studio. I didn't ask him. I mean, Connecticut's weird. You can get some people from Connecticut that are into New York sports teams. If you're in Southern Connecticut, it just depends where you are. So it's different. All right, so end of 3, 73-61. The Knicks survived the danger zone. It's the danger zone that worries me. They got out the danger zone.
This version of it.
I feel like they're still in the danger zone. What makes you think they're not in the danger zone?
That's the look she gave you before?
I'm curious.
She said, Dexter, what makes you think they're not in the danger zone?
I mean,
I think they got out below 50. They got below. Don't look at me like that. They got below 15. So I feel like that's out of the danger zone.
Okay.
So that attitude tells me that you feel that anybody who plays the Celtics from the tip-off is in the danger zone.
Yeah.
I can tell the energy.
Yeah.
I could tell
for
that
sure.
was the energy. That's how you should feel, though. If you're a fan of defending champs, that's how you should feel.
I mean, that's how they play, also. You know?
But I do think
that's the scary thing about them is like they can put a game away at any point.
They're that good,
more than anybody else in the league. Really.
I agree.
You know, just like they could because the avalanche of threes,
and they've been to the mountaintop, and they've seen it before.
Yeah. But I do think with the Knicks, like you were within, I think 9 to start the fourth quarter rather. So you're hanging around, and if you're the Knicks, you just want to hang around so you can get to the end because they're gonna trust Jalen Brunson in the end of fourth quarters. Now, will that be enough in this series? I mean, you have to keep the games close to get there, and we'll see. We'll see if they keep it close because they've been within striking distance. But then when it's time to really cut into that lead and get to within like a possession, that they haven't been able to do yet. That's like the final step. And if you're Boston, I mean, hit shots, keep playing defense.
Keep playing how you're playing.
It's a little simpler for them.
Yeah.
They're just not hitting shots, and, the defense has held up.
It has. We got some comments in the chat. Greg says Nets had a deal on the table for Jaylen Brown. The fact they didn't intervene to put a pause in this potential dynasty is crazy. I do remember the rumors about that. That didn't go down with the Nets.
Was that after they played each other in the playoffs?
That was the year after that, 21.
Yeah.
That was that. Greg also says Grady looks at us Knicks fans like we are peasants. I look at certain people like
you said that, not me.
You didn't say he was wrong.
I didn't say he was wrong either.
Do you consider the Knicks rivals?
Oh, this is a good question.
I would say yeah.
Okay, you do.
I would.
I don't think every Celtic fan.
I would say Lakers number one.
Oh yeah.
Like in terms of just historical rivals.
No doubt.
But I feel like there's definitely a rivalry between New York and Boston. In every sport.
I agree. But Knicks, the problem with the Knicks and Celtics, they rarely have been good. This is the first time in even my lifetime they've really been both good at the same time.
Because the other time was like
there's always been like a serious gap.
Well, Garnett, Pearson
at the end of it,
fading.
Yeah, and the Knicks were kind of rising.
That series got a little dicey.
It did
at one point, but
the Knicks were kind of better at that time.
Yeah,
the Celtics are better now, but at least the gap is not as wide. I just don't feel like they're.
This is if it's true for your lifetime, it's definitely true for mine.
Right.
Like I think this is the best they've been, I guess, combined.
I would agree with that. But I do think Grady's right about there's always the rivalry there. I would say like Celtics Sixers are probably more of a rival than the Celtics. Knicks.
I think Celtics Heat the last 20 years.
That's been really good. Yeah, I'd say that.
I think the Heat might be.
They have a lot of memorable playoffs.
The Heat might be your biggest rival
in the East. I might say. I would agree with that.
Historically, at this moment, no. But,
right.
Because that left with Jimmy, but like it'll be back inevitably at some point.
Oh, Knicks had a chance there. Couldn't get that. Also, we got Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. So we can make up 12 points in a quarter. Not over yet. He's right.
Celtics rivals, it's not. No, this is not over.
So Celtics rivals historically have been Lakers, Pistons, and Heat. I don't disagree with that.
Pistons? Would you say Pistons?
But that's going back to the 80s. They battled a bunch of times.
2000s a little bit? No?
A little bit too. Yeah, that's true. Talking about 2000s, that was good too. Oh, and a bad foul. That's a backbreaker. See, often
him being healthy is. I think I agree with Grady when she says like they could be fine without Porzingis this series, but him being out there.
Oh, what a difference maker! Oh my gosh,
he's a huge difference maker. Which is crazy to say is like he's like the third option on the team. He's a huge difference maker, but he is.
I mean, the Celtics have depth.
They do. Like that's a huge advantage they have over the Knicks. And I've said that before going into this. And I know that hasn't.
They don't even play Torrey Craig. And we were talking about Torrey Craig.
About the Knicks picking him up.
Yeah, because he'd be playing for the Knicks. Like, he'd be in the rotation.
He would. And the Knicks could use somebody like Torrey Craig.
They don't play Keita.
Midi.
Who I think is good.
That's it. That's the shot you love. Mid-range.
Love that shot.
People don't know. The nickname for this woman is the mid-range mommy.
Yeah. That's my game.
That's your game.
That's his first 2 points?
Yes. Oh, I thought about that too. I didn't see how he hadn't scored.
Okay, Al.
Oh, no.
Okay, Al. Floater. Oh.
Give me that.
See, young Al. Young Al would have tried.
Young Al would have banged on somebody.
Word.
He wanted to, but he's like, he remembered.
Yeah,
he remembered.
Say, I'm like, Deuce is not going to go up for Porzingis.
He thought about it. And young Al, Al Horford wanted to, but then he remembered he didn't have.
Look at that.
Mikal Bridges. What is going on?
Mikal's having a doozy.
A doozy of offensive game. Payton Pritchard with a 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Up by 16.
He got 6 men.
Danger zone again.
Ooh.
He got 6 men of the year, right?
He did.
Yep.
Okay, Mikal.
4 points. That's unbelievable. He didn't have any during the first.
I don't think he took that many shots either. That's another thing.
They said 1 of 9, I think. So that's not a little bit.
They got the switch.
I gotta check.
Porzingis on Bridges. Bridges switched off.
Oh. Handsy.
Okay, I'll take it.
This is one.
Oh, what?
Did Al get the? Wow,
he got it right back. He just walked over and like he just got.
I gotta talk to Al Horford, man, about the Dominican Fountain of Youth. Well, Bridges is heating up. He's on fire. Bridges 3 straight shots. Where's the Dominican Fountain of Youth? I need to know this from Al Horford.
Puerto Plata.
Right.
That's where it is. Okay.
The motherland.
The motherland. Man. All right, Knicks got out the danger zone. Horford.
Short.
Ooh.
Drew.
Cookies.
Oh, tough pass. Deuce in the right spot at the right
Bridges
time.
was going to pull
Another
up.
one?
I knew it. He had to do the heat check.
He was feeling it.
I knew it, too. I would have liked to have seen him.
Celtics would have called a timeout if he made that.
Oh, for sure.
Joe would have been like, nah.
Oh, no. They're going to Tatum here. He's got McBride
He's got
on
Deuce,
him.
yeah. It's a good call. Yeah. Look at Josh ready to help.
Yep.
Well, you got to watch.
Taking him to
Porzingis,
school.
yeah.
Oh,
You're on it. Pritchard.
Good closeout.
Oh my goodness.
I love this.
That's the thing. But Dex is like a diehard, like he's really, really in it. You know.
Oh!
Wow.
Mitchell Robinson with the and one.
Is he gonna make this free throw?
I was gonna say he might not make the free throw.
Likely to not make the free throw.
What was he last game?
Man.
3 for 10? Or was it 3 for
3
7?
for 10 last game.
Sheesh.
Barbershop Sports Talk podcast says, would you take Bridges out the game and have Mitch, Cat, OG, Hart, and JB closing game tonight? I mean, not now. Yeah. I assume you said that before Bridges hit some of those shots. Bridges is starting to cook a little bit. I'd leave him. You need his defense.
I'm a little worried about, so if I'm Thibodeau, do I want the Cat and Mitch lineup in this series? Because we talked about it. It's like Boston's going to get easier threes.
Cat's back in now, so
I don't know.
Oh my God! What was that?
No.
What was that?
That's gonna be replayed for the next few days. I hope you know that.
So is our reactions.
Oh, what?
Yo, he barely hit the net, bro.
Nah,
son, what?
Have you ever missed a free throw that bad?
I don't think so.
No. And I've landed on my ass hard.
I
landed on my ass at Our Savior Lutheran, and I didn't miss a free throw that bad before.
Good defense.
Oh, if he made that, I was gonna be like, "What?"
That was so bad.
That's gonna be in mind for a while. He's in his head with.
So when you guys lose this series, he needs to go and work on that. Okay.
Wow, you see what you just said.
I think they're trading him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna look to upgrade a backup center.
I think they're trading him
because
the contracts, this expiring contract.
Also, they're at a disadvantage with him. It's hard to play him against great teams, against championship level teams.
Against this team specifically.
Yeah, specifically.
And if you're trying to reach Boston,
he does good.
He's great for the Pistons series. He's great in that Pistons matchup against Cleveland. I think he'd be useful.
He's a good matchup, but
because of the double big lineup. But
they need a different kind of big.
I just think, and you have to get creative with the way the finances are structured now. You have to get creative with like how you're going to distribute the money. And he's making a lot for a backup center who is hurt a lot and who can't really do much on offense.
Yeah.
So I think you got to try to split that into two players.
He's lucky. Like Porzingis is. Oh boy. God.
What?
One air ball deserves another. Except it's one thing to shoot an air ball from 27 feet,
right?
Another thing to shoot an air ball.
I think
from
Pritchard was closer than Mitch was.
Which is not good. Which is not good. Not good at all. Oh man.
Deuce is giving them good minutes.
He has. I still think it's. Oh God, it's still. This is a big. The next 3 minutes are big for the Knicks. That's all for Holly's foot.
Yeah.
I think the next 3 minutes are huge for them. They've got to cut this in a single digit.
Read that last comment.
Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast says Bridges makes me mad at times. I be dogging him throughout a game, then he'll show up late. It's pretty true. That's the Mikal Bridges experience. But hey, it's better than not showing up at all.
Right.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah, his defense has been solid in the
look, and he cooks again. Bridges,
sneaky cooking over here.
He's been playing good defense. There's a difference. What do you think about the 3-pointers there? 10 and 35 tonight, 15 and 60 in the last game. You said 43s was what you wanted, right?
Yeah, like 40.
Yeah, but she wants more than 10 makes.
Right.
That's true.
10 for 35.
And I think if the Knicks lose this game, that's what's going to be frustrating is they didn't shoot the ball well again from 3. Here's old man Horford.
10 of 36.
Damn.
Oh, no. Old man Horford.
You
got to get back to the fountain of youth, brother. That's what's got to happen.
28% from 3.
And
you're down 12?
Because it's second chance points, offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
That's the difference in this game.
Yeah.
That's
defense.
That's
they play better defense, too.
It's definitely the difference in this game. All right. How you feeling, Knicks fans in the chat?
Or Celtics fans in the chat. Or general, like Gerard, general NBA person in the chat. People in the chat.
Yes. Knicks fans, Greydy Celtics supporters, and general NBA fans. You're feeling good. Or Knicks in the danger zone?
No, I feel good right now.
When do you feel like you're in the danger zone? When are the Celtics in the danger zone?
When we're down by 10 points, 15 points.
But I
feel like we're okay right now. You know, I just need them to really close this out.
Yeah, not
like we're playing right now with the score a little bit.
So what should we look for that's gonna excite you in this quarter? We're gonna see you get excited. Well, we know. Okay, Greydy feels good because I feel the nervous energy here.
Oh, I mean, for sure, because I mean, all it takes is a few threes, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, I need the Celtics to be up by 20 with 4 minutes left.
Then you're gonna feel.
Then
excited.
I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah.
Next game, please.
Okay. Somebody, we got Henry Lico here says, I feel like crap. Knicks are in the danger zone. I've been saying they've been in the danger zone when they get this thing around 15. So I don't know. Greydy does not feel like they're in the danger zone. We'll see how they do here down the stretch. I think these next couple of minutes are important for the Knicks. If they're going to make this a game or not, they got to try to make a run. This is my time. I like to check the stats. All right, so we got 6:39 to go. They're down 12. Yeah. The Knicks actually shooting 30% from downtown, 7-23.
That's better than the Celtics.
And they're losing.
Wow. How many attempts?
23. That's one thing I talked about earlier.
What's that for what?
3-pointers.
No. Like what for 20?
7 for 20.
7?
Yeah.
Damn.
30 for 72 for the game, so 41%. They're actually shooting better.
If you're Boston, you want the Knicks to only shoot 23 threes at this point.
Yeah, the Knicks got up 37 last game, so they're off pace for that.
Because it's not just the percentages, but it's the amount. Because Boston's 10 for 36?
Yeah, but what do you think Boston's up on the boards?
Well, I'm saying that they're also up 9 points on threes, because the Knicks aren't really taking any. On boards,
they're up 9 points on threes.
They probably have a double-digit lead in rebounds.
Plus 14.
14? How many offensive?
15 offensive for Celtics, 6 for the Knicks.
Plus 9 on off. There's a game.
Sheesh.
Second chance points are probably...
Yeah, that's the game.
Totally.
Yeah. I think turnovers are pretty even. It's 14 for the Knicks and 15 for the Celtics. Yeah. Which is a little bit uncharacteristic for both teams because they do both take a good job of taking care of the ball.
I still can't get over that air ball. I go lie.
That was
Celtics
bad.
have 23 points off the bench.
I've been thinking about that.
Oh man,
since it happened.
I know the guys are gonna clip that one because
oh my goodness,
that was bad. We all were disgusted by that.
Nobody
should have to see that. Like damn, he couldn't even hit the rim. Oh my god,
he barely hit the net.
That's a tough one.
That's the thing. Like that's why I don't get mad at the hack of whoever the center is. It's like, listen, you would think if you're in the NBA, if you're in the WNBA, if you're in EuroLeague, if you're in Eurobasket, whatever, you should be able to make like 60% of your free throws. You would think. So,
but
that's why I'm fine with that strategy.
I don't like this offense here. They're going to let Bridges create a lot here too. Bridges to the rack. Oh, okay.
I think Drew thought Luke was going to help on his left side.
But credit Mikal for not settling there.
Mikal read that really well. He's 11 now, I think.
Old man Horford.
He thought about shooting it.
Dominican on Dominican crime.
He too hard of a touch.
Knicks got numbers here.
Oh, Josh Hart was open.
Bridges, let's go. 14. Okay, Mikal.
Wow. Oh, that's a 2.
Down to 8 though.
Oh my god.
Down to 8. Is this a danger zone for you? Are you feeling the danger zone?
A little worried.
Grady's not happy.
Tatum's not in.
Oh no, Celtics missing some shots.
Tatum's at the scorer's table. Yeah, you got to get him in.
Yeah.
Zula said, Zula's like, no more. There's no more of this. They give him the ball to Bridges. Let him cook.
Right. He's hot. You got to feed the hot hand.
Yep.
At all times.
Jalen Brown. Now Drew.
Uh-oh. Too much.
He almost stepped out. Brunson's got to shoot it.
Too much dip.
Good closeout.
Ooh.
It's a great closeout by Derek White.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
I think everybody stopped thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was going to be the shot clock violation.
Yeah, me too.
I think everybody thought that, but you got to play.
Derek White hasn't hit his 4th 3, has he?
That's a good closeout by Derek White. Man.
He has not.
Brunson thought it was a foul. I don't think that was a foul.
Tatum only has 1 3. That's surprising.
He only has 9 points.
That's also crazy.
That's incredible.
Right.
That's also
like
crazy.
That's the other thing. Like I think it was Barbershop earlier who said it. I gotta call you something else, bro. Like call us Ring Barbershop is a little weird. So
this is podcast. This is podcast.
Yeah, I know. But I know like the Knicks, being in the game like makes him feel like more encouraged, for example, going forward. And I could look at that if I'm looking at it from like Greydy's perspective, and I'd be like, yeah, but again, they're not even shooting 30% from three, and Jayson Tatum like hasn't really scored.
But here's the thing: this is where expectations change. Because if you ask Knicks fans this 2.5 months ago, after the Celtics kicked their ass again for another time, they would have said if they could muck the game up and make it ugly like this.
I think before this series.
Yeah, they would have taken this. And so the fact that the Knicks have been competitive in these games, Cal Bridges is now off on these shots. Big shot from Brunson here. Woo!
That's 7 now.
Wow, 7. Okay. The fact that the Knicks are competing in these games, this is what people ask for.
Brunson only has 11 too. So
I know. The stars haven't really been starring.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term. Greydy, I'm feeling nervous energy from you.
Oof.
I couldn't even tell you who's playing the best right now out of everybody.
Bridges?
No. I'm saying for the entire game.
Oh, for the entire game. Tatum on Brunson.
He's taking too long.
Another 3.
He's not going to get that.
I don't know what the Celtics are shooting in this quarter, but it's not.
He's not going to get that 4-3 from me,
all.
huh? Wow, look at that. Most threes missed in a 2-game playoff span.
Nasty.
Most in NBA history.
That's a nasty stat.
Got lucky with that pass. He was right there.
There's another shot from Bridges. Wow. What a play.
What a play by Tatum.
Wide open.
Oh, man.
What?
Oh, my goodness. This game. Yo, Greydy, I can't even look at you.
My gosh.
Oh, my God.
This has been the worst playoff game that I think we've had so far, other than all the blowouts.
Nice take by Josh Hart. Knicks within 5. Bench is up and happy.
I would love to hear the crowd, because I think the crowd probably has that nervous murmuring now that we were talking about.
Probably.
That Celtics fans.
I'm nervous.
I hear it in your voice.
And this is the thing, like you're doing the isolation stuff.
Wow.
But that's what
but these are good looks that they're missing. I can't even be mad.
But off the dribble threes are not like, that's not why they're that good from 3. It's
oh my gosh.
Look at Mitch.
I wish
fouled him right away.
I wanted Mitch to get that back out so quickly. I wanted no parts of him going up and getting fouled. I was like, please get that back out. Oh,
like they're good looks, but I mean, you want them to get it off the catch more. But that last one, I mean, it's the top of the key. Like you got to hit that.
You got to hit that one. Some of it is the Celtics rushing their shots a little bit, and you could attribute that to the defense. But are you crediting the Knicks defense?
I mean, they're missing open shots, wide open. Some of these threes, especially in their shoot. They just shoot so many threes. Like, my gosh.
I think they're over 40 now. I got to check.
It has to be, right? Let's see.
In terms of attempts.
You get annoyed with them at times?
No, they're at 40. They're right at 40.
You get annoyed with them at times because of the amount of threes that they shoot? Given that you do love mid-range basketball as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I feel like folks just settle for the 3. They settle for the 3 now. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe players don't like contact.
Why do you think we all agree on, like, philosophically why the mid-range game is important, but for the audience, why do you think having a mid-range game is important?
I mean, it just adds to your bag. I mean, being able to score at every point is crucial to the game. And I don't know, I just feel like it just adds beauty to the game too. Like, I just feel like watching players shoot from 3 all the time and just literally not really shoot mid-range shots is just like, bro, what are we doing? It's not a 3-point contest.
I think there's a reason why the best players are able to get their shots from there.
I agree with that.
Like when it matters.
Yeah.
Like you'll see both Brunson, Tatum, Brown also.
They'll all be able to get it between 15 and 18.
Yeah.
They'll could stop because you got to respect them deeper. You got to respect them attacking.
Because you have to create, and that's that's what you have to work with. Like that's what's going to be available to you.
And the best players can do that in the playoffs, which is, I think, why I understand for you and Celtics fans, it was a little frustrating to not see them attack more late in game one, go to that a little bit more. And even now, you don't want to see them settle because Tatum could cook in that range.
For sure.
Brown could cook in that range. Even
KP could cook.
Yeah, you could have him on one of the elbows and you're like, it could happen. So I think it's funny too, because you and I, we cover a lot of WNBA stuff too. And it's like,
hey, in the
three, yes. In the W, you see a lot of that.
A lot of
mid-range in the playoffs, like a lot.
Oh yeah,
like there's a lot of the great players in the W can really cook in the mid-range, and I know, and you see it through the regular season, you see it everywhere, and it's like, I mean,
we saw it last night in the Las Vegas Aces preseason game. Deja Kelly, game winner off of a midi. Courtney Williams.
Courtney Williams was
in the finals.
In the finals, she was killing the Liberty
midi. You know what I mean?
She won the title.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
she was annoying. She was annoying me.
I know.
Yeah, I think more
in a
players,
good way. I mean, I love her game, so that's like me saying that with a ton of respect.
Yeah, I think just more players need to focus on that. And obviously, with that mid range, you kind of do need that dribble package too. To be able to create that shot for yourself.
You have agreement in the comment section as well.
Yeah, Brunson's time now. That's not what Greydy wants to hear.
You also need to be moving. You need to be moving on the floor. We're seeing a lot of guys hang around the threes, and so you need to be cutting. You need to be moving in order to create that mid-range shot for yourself. That placement.
It's a 4-point game.
4-point game because you saw that three. You said it was a 2 early, and they reviewed it. So that's a 4-point.
They scored it a 2. My defense.
Yep.
I'm nervous.
Oh, you're nervous?
A little bit.
Oh man. You should be nervous in defending champs.
I know.
They found this right away.
Here we go. Here we go, guys. Do you like this strategy? I'd do it if I was Missoula. I would absolutely do it.
I think you got to do it once just to see if he misses both. Here comes OG. Wait, is he not shooting? Oh, they're not in the bonus. Are they not in the bonus?
They are not.
Okay.
I guess Tibbs wants to see if they'll do it again.
I think I would.
Damn. Interesting.
I was like, yeah, bro, come here, bro. Jalen didn't want to pass him the ball, but no one else was open.
Right.
You don't want to burn a timeout with 2:41 left.
Look at him shaking his head.
It's like, why you got to do that? Now he's taking him out. I wondered if they were going to keep him in. But I guess they were like,
the liability.
Like, let's get him fouls. Now we're closer to the bonus. I kind of like that from Tibbs. He's mad he came out. Tibbs is like, I saw what you did on that last free throw.
Right.
I saw you airball that.
I mean, if I'm Boston, I'd rather Mitch on the floor than OG. So we'll see if this backfires.
Oh.
And one!
Wow.
Woo! Big bodega. Oh man.
Ow.
Damn. Dominican on Dominican crime again.
Yeah, they've been going at it all game, huh? Yo, if they steal
he feels bad for that. He's like, that's my country. Man. Here's the thing. If the Knicks win this game, you can't say they stole it again. You don't steal twice.
No.
It's a trend now. It's a trend.
Let's see how.
If you get robbed by the same person twice in the same place,
right?
Then they're stealing from you.
You're just a sucker. 1-point game. Look, 17-2 run by the Knicks. Celtics missed their last 10 field goals attempts.
They've missed 10 in a row. But then
ISO heavy.
ISO heavy on OG. Why? Again, taking dumb shots.
Straight misses by the Celtics. They haven't hit a field goal in 6.5 minutes.
What are they doing?
It's wild.
Where's the Celtics' heart to get to the line? Oh, Brunson in his bag.
Oh,
the Knicks with the lead. What a comeback. 19-2. First lead tonight.
This is what they want.
Jesus.
This is sickening.
Oh.
See, now the game's breaking down.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, the Knicks are going to win this game, aren't they?
Oh, my God. The Knicks' confidence right now has to be soaring. 12 consecutive misses for Boston.
Yo, if they made that.
What a rebound by Al Horford.
Great rebound.
Transition. They have numbers.
Good pass. Good hands. Ooh. A little bit of the body after. They're going to give you that. Man, these two games, man. The runs in these games, like.
Look at this.
If you like ugly old school basketball and you like it to be stressed a little bit on either side, this is crazy. They did not foul.
Derek White.
Oh, I'm surprised that there's no call there.
Me too.
Woo!
This is
Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch, 21-2 run. What is going on?
They usually don't do this in back-to-back games.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Oh, they're going to take a dumb shot, aren't they?
Tatum.
That's a foul.
That's good. See, I know what you're thinking. You're like, where was this before? Where was attacking the rim before?
Their offense has become so predictable too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's the thing. Like, I know they're gonna force a shot, and I know how they're gonna do it. They're just gonna try to match up hunt, get into the middle of the lane.
I almost can't believe this comeback.
I can't.
It's actually more shocking to me than game one. I'm more stunned.
Yeah, me too.
I'm more stunned because I think the Celtics had controlled the game at multiple times here. That I thought happened. Asher says, I love the contrast of Dex being excited, Greydy being worried, and Bryan just calm.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Grady's like, I'm so mad I came here with these guys.
1 point game. Let's see.
Yeah, got the.
Tatum has 11. That's crazy to me.
It was a 21-4 run by the Knicks.
See, they're obviously trying not to foul because of the foul situation.
They got the switch they wanted. OG
stepped out.
OG was out. Damn.
But how confident are you that they're going to get off a good shot here? Like they have 24 seconds left. They
have plenty of time.
You got to credit.
But I need them to not settle for a 3.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take 3.
You don't need a 3. You're down 1. You go for the 2.
Yeah,
do you want them to go quickly, or you want them to wind this down?
I can't. Oh.
Like how much time?
I kind of want them to go quickly.
I would too, because then you have a chance to play the foul.
For sure.
But not too quickly.
And now he's taking the time out to advance, which I like. You don't go too quickly, but if you can get up a shot around 12 seconds, I think that's pretty good.
This is crazy.
This is insane.
This is crazy. This is again. They play better for 3 quarters, and then it's just one dumbass quarter, and then Mikal gets hot. The Knicks are going on this run.
How many points does Mikal have? Because he was 14.
Boston hasn't hit a field goal in like over half a quarter.
It's wild. It's wild. We're due for one.
What is happening?
Yeah, they haven't hit a field goal over. It's insane. It's really insane. And like the Knicks probably have. I was looking at it. Remember we talked about how they were down -14 on the rebounds. Now it's 5. They've made it reasonable in the game, and that's a huge part of it.
And what's Boston shooting from 3?
Boston is shooting.
Let me see.
25%, 10 of 40.
But they're 36% from the field. So like
the Knicks are 9 of 31 from 3. The Knicks got hit some more threes. So they made it a math game simpler. They closed it to they're only +3 on 3-pointers. They're only -5 on the rebounds. And I believe the Knicks have not turned the ball over in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
That kind of helps that's how you get a 21-4 run generally. The Knicks have not turned the ball over once in the fourth quarter.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
See if they can hit a shot.
So they didn't get to advance because they had already taken a dribble forward.
They're going quick.
Oh my God, you can't have that happen.
Go. That's my guy.
We got you up out of your seat. You can't have that happen.
They needed that That's their first field goal in like mad long. But if you're Tatum,
right. Are you kidding me?
That's what your all NBA star who's been in this situation mad times, has to do. And now it's up to the Knicks to get it back. And you know what they're gonna do. You know who's getting the ball.
Yep.
You know what shot he's looking for. You know what spot he's looking for.
I'm gonna say something unpopular here because the Knicks.
Mikal Bridges, I know.
Yeah, but
always want Mikal
because
to get the
he's
ball
a good
for the
decoy.
Yeah,
He's a great decoy.
Mikal to get
He's
the
been
ball
great
for the
decoy here, and he's been playing well in the fourth.
I know.
Everybody thinks you're gonna go to Brunson, so why do that?
All I'm gonna say is, but he's not the clutch player of the year.
But if everybody knows what you're gonna do, I'm gonna keep
that's an award that I can't stand. But whatever.
I don't mind the award, but yeah. Every commercial I see about Juju,
I know. It makes me so sad.
Yo, how good do you think she's gonna be?
Amazing.
Yeah, so
you kidding me? She's already generational.
I think she's the truth. Like,
I hope she could play.
I don't use that word for everybody.
Right.
I hope she could play at least a little bit next year.
I hope so. I'm just such a big fan. I'm such a big fan of hers.
Man,
I just like her game a lot. Like, yeah. Barbershop Sports Talk says that was on purpose to let him score. I don't know about that.
No, I think they thought Boston would slow play the possession.
Yeah, and I think that's why Mitch got caught off a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
And Tatum's like, all right, Mitch is in isolation. Like, I can just blow by him. All right, here we go.
Cat in the corner. Interesting.
With Jalen Brown on him.
Oh God. Oh gosh.
And one. Woo. This is too stressful.
Oh my God.
I want this game to end.
Yeah, Grady's like, oh my God.
So we can just talk about it.
Grady and somebody's not gonna want to talk after this.
Oh.
He caught Holiday there.
He almost had ball and he caught like the inside arm.
This is gonna be stressful no matter what. It's all stressful. Woo, that rattled down. We're tied at 90. Woo. Well, we talked about Brunson getting 30. He is not going to get that tonight. 16.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson you can't do the hack of Mitch in the final 2 minutes, so that's why he's on the floor. Cat off the floor.
Okay.
Here we go.
12.7.
They have a timeout.
They're not using it.
They have a timeout.
They're going to try to get the switch.
Please don't settle. Please don't settle.
Yeah!
Oh my
God! The Knicks are up 2-0. Another big defensive play from Bridges.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God!
What a stupid possession! Like,
wow.
I'm surprised they didn't call a timeout in that situation either.
Wow,
dropping 2 at home is sick.
Wow. I mean, Mitchell Robinson didn't get too loose. He did as good as he could. Good help by OG and Bridges.
Right there.
Bridges.
I'm telling y'all, I don't want to hear nothing. No more Bridges hate. Seriously, you gotta let it go. The guy has made the 2 game-winning plays in a row. How quick?
2 awful fourth quarters for Boston. 2 great fourth quarters for the Knicks. And also just like, I mean, the timeout is going to be a conversation. I'm sure just not using it.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at that. I'm not surprised that Joe Mazzulla like wouldn't call the timeout there because he's just the type of dude that's like, y'all got to play through shit. I mean, do you think that is that your biggest takeaway from that last possession?
I'm at a loss for words right now.
I'm at a loss for words.
I'm going to be so for real with you right now. I mean, I think that plays a factor into it. I think maybe also Tatum not knowing who, like just being a court awareness in that moment. That like being down 0-2 right now, that's not easy.
Yeah, and yet I still don't think they're out of the series, but this is very difficult now because now if you're Boston, this fourth quarter bug is a problem officially. They didn't rebound in the way that people expected. Like they've had the first half, they've been fine.
They were rebounding until the fourth quarter.
Both games. Last game was the same thing. They were fine through 3 quarters, and then in the fourth is where it imploded. Same thing in this game, and on top of that, now you're in a situation where you have to win 4 out of 5 with 3 being in the Garden. That part of it is not as spooky, but it's just winning after these 2 games, winning 4 out of 5. Like, now to me, because game 1 is shit happens in game 1.
Like you blew leads in both games. Big leads.
Yeah.
The home team has still not won a game.
I was going to say, home team still has not won a game.
This is more stunning to me than game 1 and how it went down.
I agree.
It was sloppy.
I felt like the Celtics were way more in control than they ever were in game 1. So I'm really stunned about this. And part of me actually feels for you. I don't ever say this for Boston fans. I'm being dead serious. Because no. I know what it's like on the other side. I know what it's like watching that kind of loss. I mean that.
Yeah.
This is why we all cover sports. This is why we do this.
Yeah.
This is why we love it. And this is why we say as fans and as much as I love you.
Of course.
But when you watch it with somebody I'm rooting and Grady's got the fade, it's like, man. But this is why sports is beautiful, because you can't predict this stuff.
Yeah.
This is why they play the games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do also want to say, and I get it when we talk to Brian Lewis and he's on here, and Grady, we know you have to run. I know fans are going to be like, some fans are going to come here and say they told us so. And y'all didn't know anything.
Yeah, so and y'all weren't confident heading into the series. And a lot of y'all gave up on this team like before the Pistons series.
Our boy Gaza's on it. And what did he say? First word, I told you so.
Yeah.
Gaza, you did say they were going to win game 2. You were right, sir. You did say they were going to win game 2. I'm thrilled they won game 2. I'm thrilled you're right. Here's what I will say. Still a long series to go.
Mm-hmm.
It is daunting for the Celtics. They have to win 4 out of 5, as you said, 3 games at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics, though, however, have won straight.
You pointed out that there was a Knicks series in
1993.
The last time
the Knicks were this much of an underdog to somebody was 1993.
Wow.
When they were down to the Bulls. They won the first 2 games in Chicago.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm wrong about that. They won the first 2 games at home because they had a better record in Chicago.
But they were underdogs nonetheless.
They were underdogs nonetheless. They lost the next 2 in Chicago, lost a very pivotal game 5 at home, and ended up. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And that
you have the pit hat. That's all I'm going to say.
We're not going to talk about that. And that was that. That's all I said. Are you going to be okay?
If they make it out of the series, I'll be okay.
Oh, a long way to go. All right, we're going to let you go.
I mean, look.
We know you have to run.
Good game, guys.
Good game. We appreciate you coming through.
Of course. Good to see you.
I will see you at a Liberty game soon.
Yes.
And either you'll be giving me an evil look or, hopefully you still give me a hug or some dap.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys.
Just leave your mic over there when you're done. That's Grady Diaz, everybody, the great journalist, writer, producer who joined us here. Bryan and I are going to get ready as we are going to have Brian Lewis join us very shortly as Bryan gets his earpiece in. We see everybody in the chat. I do see you. A lot of you are in here. There's some love for Grady in here. Some people are sad to see Grady go. I see that, but we are sad to see Grady go, but we appreciate Grady rocking with us and the great Celtics fan that she is. Thank you, Grady. We appreciate you so much. So that's Grady Diaz. Please, everybody, if you haven't seen her work, check her out. Follow her as well, too. We're going to bring in our guy, Brian Lewis, who has been with us for the post game of all these playoff games and now joins us here to talk about the Knickerbockers. As the Knickerbockers here, folks, we just have to reset for you. If you were just joining us, 91-90. This is a 90s style score that we got here in this second playoff game of the series. A 91-90 win. This one did not go to overtime. The Knicks had an incredible run. It was 21-2 before Boston finally scored some points, made it 21-4 on the free throws there. So huge run by the Knicks there in the fourth quarter. And kind of ties into something that we'll get into here that I've been saying and I've been questioning all season long. And I'm really intrigued to hear what Bryan says about this, who's with us now. Bryan, first of all, how you doing, sir?
All right. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm well. The Knicks are winning these games. The margins are small. I'm not somebody who believes, especially in the playoffs, in luck. You make your own luck. You put yourself in good situations. This team's getting it done in the clutch. Is this the identity of this Knicks team, that they are just clutch?
I mean, I do believe in luck to an extent, usually in terms of injuries or something like that. You know, an opponent gets hurt, that's bad fortune for them. But listen, this is not the Knicks being lucky. All right. Now, part of it is some bad, beyond bad process by Boston.
Yeah.
So that's true. But that's not the Knicks' problem. That's not their fault. That's not their problem.
Well put.
Word. You're gonna take that, right, Brian? You're not gonna worry about that.
You will take that. You will take that.
But Brian, here's the thing, and I said this to Brian right here before. I said if the Knicks win this game and they came back and win this game, you can't say they stole it. You still won. If you rob somebody twice, it's not like you stole it. You knew what they could do.
I mean,
you knew what they were capable of.
I think you could rob.
I mean, if you're down 16 in the fourth, I mean, I guess you could say you stole it. But listen, they smacked him in the face and took it.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. This is not a situation where, you know, somebody got hurt. Not even putting that out in the ether. But I'm saying if, you know, Tatum gets hurt or Brown gets hurt, listen, this is a situation where the Knicks took advantage of bad process by Boston. In some cases, induced it and forced it. All right. Now the threes, whatever. That's, you know, it's a make or miss league. Run hot, run cold. But listen, they forced them to miss 75 threes in 2 games.
NBA record.
That's the most in history.
Yeah.
Right? For a 2-game playoff span. The record had been 72 by Houston. Right? And we know, you know, the way Houston chucked, fine, whatever.
Yep.
This is 75 in 2 games. That's not all just good fortune. Like you're just standing there with your hands down and watching them miss threes. You know, in many cases, this is good defense in terms of contests, because particularly in the first game, a lot of them were contested. You know, this game, you know, in the beginning, I thought Boston's process was a little better, just in terms of being intent, especially from Brown, intent on getting in the paint and causing some havoc. But down the stretch, listen, Boston had a 16-point lead at home in a good home court advantage, and the Knicks took that from them. Mikal Bridges, again, huge in the fourth, 14 points. That block, I thought before was the biggest play he had made. And no, I was wrong. This is the biggest play he's made in a Knicks game. Because before you still thought, all right, it's 1 game, but now they have been put in a situation where you should close this out. You have no reason not to close this out.
I think it's crazy because a lot of us in the journalism community, myself, Brian, you, what was your pick for the series, Brian?
I had the Celtics winning it fairly easily.
And I had Celtics
and then after game 1, I said 7.
Yeah. You said 7.
When you said you have an opportunity to correct yourself.
I did ask that. Here's something I brought up a little bit of history. And you've been doing this longer than me. The last time the Knicks were up 2-0 in a series where it really excited the fan base and they were the underdog was 1993 against the Bulls.
Yes, against the Bulls, they were up 2-0. I do think they might have had the higher seed. So
they did have the higher seed, but I do not believe they were the favorites, if I remember correctly. I was young, so I was looking at the odds.
But. Yeah, you know what? I have to acknowledge, in interest of full disclosure, I'm terrible with knowing what, you know, the point spreads are in basketball. I don't gamble. I don't follow your point spreads in basketball. But that was 2-0, and then they lost 4 straight.
Exactly. They lost 4 straight. And there was a lot of hype. Game 2, memorable moment. They get the dunk. All I'm saying is I've seen it before where series are not over after winning 2. Now, the difference in that is the Knicks won the first 2 at home in very convincing fashion in that series. Then they had to go to Chicago. So it's a tall order. Bryan just brought this up when we had Greydy Diaz sitting here. It's a tall order for the Knicks, the Celtics to win 4 out of 5 now. It's what the series has become for them. How confident are you based on what you've seen in the grit from this Knicks team and their clutch ability to come back home to the Garden, hopefully take care of business, maintain home court advantage, and close the series out?
I have more faith in this team doing that than I did against Chicago. And part of that is the grit that the Knicks have shown. Another part of it is the sheer, I don't want to say arrogance, because that's not the right term. Stubbornness. I understand that you have to play how you play, right? You do not want to go through 82 games and then a second playoff series and panic and rip up everything that you've done and everything that you believe in. I'm not suggesting that any team should or would do that. However, there has to be a point where you have to be
malleable,
open to reading the room and watching the film and seeing what's being put out on tape and understand that you need to correct things. And I don't know that Boston at this point is self-aware enough to do that. I don't know.
Bryan, I felt like if I took that and clipped what you just said and took out the last part about Boston, if I took this clip in the future and brought it and showed it to you before the series and just took it without any context, somebody would have said, oh, he's talking about Tibbs. That's what somebody would think. If you cut that piece of what you said and you didn't mention Boston before this series, I said, hey, after 2 games, this is what Brian Lewis, our great sports reporter, is going to say. Somebody would have assumed that you were talking about Tibbs. Meanwhile,
fair point.
Yeah, fair. I guess that brings me to ask.
Guilty.
Yeah, but I guess that brings me to ask, and as you said that, it made me think of something, which was, yo, is Tibbs out coaching Joe Mazzulla in the series?
Yes. Yes. Just one. Yes. Yes. And I'm not suggesting that he has to all of a sudden go back and run, some archaic 1983 offense. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I am saying is, in the first game, there was so little ball and such a willingness to put up threes that were even bad threes. And then today, after showing, I don't know whether this is, I'm not in their locker room. I don't know whether this was Mazzulla or whether this is Brown taking it upon himself to recognize the flaws of the way they played in game 1. After teasing that they were going to have a willingness to attack the paint and get to the 10, to then fall back into some of the same foolishness. I mean, you were smacked in the face and told the problem. And you say you're going to fix it, or look like you might be about to fix it, and then you say, nope, I'm going to go back to do what I do. So that's part of the reason why I have more faith in the Knicks closing this out than I did in that team in 93.
Bryan, let me ask you this. How much do you take into account just Boston gets off to this good start? This happened back-to-back times. Boston gets off to this good start. The third quarter is like, okay. And then in the fourth quarter, they fall apart. And Mikal Bridges doesn't score a point until the fourth quarter. He ends in double figures. He's taking advantage. The Knicks are taking advantage of this. And now going back home to Madison Square Garden, where, look, Boston's been a very good road playoff team, but if you're the Knicks, you can't change anything, even though you haven't gotten off to great starts, right? Or are there still some tweaks you feel like they can make to better maybe their offense, maybe some of these starts to have a little bit cleaner, cleaner of an offensive process? Because they haven't played their A game yet. Neither team has, But the Knicks, there's still room for them to play even better than they have despite winning these 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a whole hell of a lot that the Knicks need to change. Now, again, the first game, Porzingis, fine, out. This game comes in, he plays, and I thought he gave them good minutes.
He looked good.
I don't know what the hell he's going to look like in Game 3. I don't know.
Right.
I certainly don't know. I don't know if the Knicks know. Boston may not even know. Right? I'm not necessarily looking at the Knicks and saying they need to change a whole hell of a lot in Game 3 because, frankly, I'm probably more impressed with what I saw from them today.
Same.
Than I was in Game 1.
Same.
Right? There was a feeling, all right, everything broke your way in Game 1. Everything.
Yeah.
And you need overtime. I'm not going to sit here and claim that everything broke their way tonight. Didn't. Frankly, maybe the luckiest thing tonight was I thought that was when Brunson went up for that 3, I thought that was a foul. I thought he did not give him enough room to land. I was just happy Brunson didn't get hurt.
I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans were, yeah.
So if you want to say they got lucky, that's the only thing that was lucky about tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Which should have been a foul, was not called, and thank God he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, that's not luck. They outplayed that team, and they definitely outcoached that team.
Yeah, I think this one was more damning for Boston because coming away from Game 1, it's like weird shit happens in Game 1s all the time. We've been watching basketball a long time. There's been plenty of times where Game 1 is not indicative of a series. And then in Game 2, I agree, like this one felt like a more surprising game, more surprising outcome, and the process of how we got there in the 4th because it looked like Boston was about to pull away. And before you know it, Jalen Brunson puts them ahead because, I mean, 1, who else is going to do it? But 2, it's like that looks like it's indicative of this series. So now
Mikal could have listened. Mikal in the 4th quarter.
Mikal's been great in the 4th quarter. Back-to-back times.
His defense has been
consistent.
Needed him. He's been good.
Yeah, Mikal's pretty much been like, what y'all talking about picks? We ain't talking about picks no more. You can't talk about picks anymore with him. That man has stepped up and made. This is 3 straight games he's made clutch plays in the 4th quarter. 3 straight games.
He's been
and
defensive.
He's now done it. He's now done it against the best, what we're calling the best team in the NBA because they're the champions. We have to respect them on that.
Sure.
And I agree with you, Brian, and the point that you made that this win is more impressive than Game 1. I'm much more impressed with what the Knicks did here than Game 1. I completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the resiliency they showed in this game, especially after Game 1, the amount of times they cut it to single digits, came back, Celtics were going to run. But that last run, the toughness in the 4th quarter, Knicks, I don't believe, had a turnover in the 4th quarter at all whatsoever during this run. It's wildly impressive. And I just want to say something to the audience and to you all season long. And Brian knows this because I've been saying this on the show.
Yeah.
All season long, people have been like, where's this team's toughness? They can't compete.
They kept wanting last year's team.
Which I thought was silly.
Yeah.
I still think it's silly to compare anything to last year's team.
Yeah. Identity-wise.
Yeah. It takes time to build the identity. This is something I've said repeatedly. Identity just doesn't come when you change 3/5 of your starting lineup. It's just something that takes time. And maybe we're at the time where it started forming late in the season. It's starting to form now. And Brian, you've done this a long time in covering sports. Identity can then breed confidence, and who knows what this can spark for the Knicks going forward. I mean, look at what's happening throughout the NBA playoffs. No team has won a home team hasn't won a game yet in the second round. So why not? Why not? I think we talk about luck here. This has to breed confidence, right, Brian, in this team moving forward, coming back. It has to.
Yeah, one, I do believe continuity breeds a certain amount of confidence, right? So when there are changes, and I know coaches say this, and fans push back on it because they don't want to hear it, but it does take a while to get everybody on the same page, to get everybody trusting everybody, to get guys not just playing hard, because there's a difference between playing hard and playing for each other.
Great.
Okay, I can play hard. Maybe I dive on the floor for a loose ball, or maybe I'll give up my body on a draw. I can play hard. That's not the same as playing for my teammate. Now, this team right now is doing both. That's rare and that's commendable.
Yeah.
Also, I would say it takes time, even if you don't change a whole lot of your roster. And this team had some major changes. Even if you don't change, each year you still have to build the character of that team. Even if you brought back, 12 of 15 guys on the roster, that doesn't mean the character of this team is going to be the same as the character of the 23-24 team. Doesn't work like that. Does not work like that.
Yeah.
Right? So there was always going to be a period where you had to grow the character of the team. It's just whether that was going to start to bear fruit in game 35 or bear fruit in game 65, you're not going to know. You really won't know. But I will say right now, yes, it is definitely bearing fruit.
No, it's absolutely bearing fruit. I mean, I think we have to give kudos to a lot of players in this game. I think if you're a Knicks fan, Brian, you got to be encouraged. You won this game. You know, Jalen Brunson had 29 in the first game. He has 17 in this game. You won a game where your best player had 17 points. He was tremendous down the stretch. 4 Knicks in double figures. Josh Hart was tremendous in this game. 23 points. I thought he had some incredible drives in the fourth quarter. His willingness to shoot, though, from the outside, Bryan and I have talked about this a lot, has been so key. How key is he, Bryan, to unlocking everything for this Knicks team offensively and keeping them connected even when things are not going right for them offensively?
Hart?
Yes, Josh Hart.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not expecting him to be a deadeye, but he does have to shoot.
Right.
You have to. You can't allow people to play you 5-on-4. You can't. Right? So when he has the opportunity, he has to look to take it. Because if he doesn't, then that skews the entire offense. Just ask the various teams that Ben Simmons has played on.
Yeah.
Right? So he has to shoot. Doesn't have a choice. And when he actually hits them, I mean, when you consider the athleticism that he brings, and he's really good in transition. So, I mean, when you add the athleticism that he brings and the toughness that he brings and the rebounding that he brings, if you get him hitting any kind of jumpers, that's just golden. But I mean, to me, I thought this was just a great defensive performance. I mean, what did they hold him to? 13, 14 straight missed shots?
They missed 13 during that 21 to
over the course of 6.5 minutes.
13 shots, 7 threes, and 1 look at the rim.
Yeah. Yeah, and Boston was
1.
And Boston was trying to get to the rim after a while. Like they figured out, okay, like we can't shoot threes, so let's get to the rim. And the Knicks were defending without fouling. They did a great job of defending without fouling in clutch situations. Their fourth quarter, it's been something. We're going to talk more about it, obviously, but there's a lot to take away. I think a lot more to take away from this game than game one, now that we've seen this happen twice.
And the fourth quarter, to me, and I know, whatever, I don't want to be like I'm the sergeant of the minutes police here, but there's a lot said about, the amount of minutes that Tibbs plays guys.
Yeah.
Right? You can't watch this team and not talk about it. To me, that makes, frankly, these fourth quarters even more impressive. Because these are not guys that are fresh. They're just not. And for them to be able to come and play as hard as they did, I don't even have the fourth quarter. I know Mikal didn't sit in the fourth quarter. I mean, for the guys to be able to come from behind and play with the kind of aggressiveness and intensity that they are in the fourth quarter, when they're asked to be playing more than they should in the first, second, and third quarters, is even more impressive.
Yeah. I thought Mitchell Robinson's minutes were also important in this one. I know he had the air ball free throw. I know that looked terrible, but he gave you 6 points. He gave you 8 boards. He gave you 3 offensive rebounds. He was key on that final stop on Tatum, and forcing him to the help to OG Anunoby. So, and then Mikal Bridges gets the block. This Knicks team, I think you hit the nail on the head, Brian. Defense is what won them this game in the fourth quarter. You got to score the points to come back, but it's defense. And this team defended at a high level, as Brian just said, without fouling. And I think that's the thing I'll take from this game is the resiliency and the defense that they showed in this game, which I agree with you. I think it's more impressive than game one. And Brian's been saying he doesn't think the Knicks have played their best game. I don't think there's much.
Neither team has.
Neither team has. Yeah. The Knicks can play better than this.
Both of them can. Yeah.
And can you see them playing better than this?
I think the Knicks can play better than this. Yeah. I know the Celtics can play better than this. Listen. Let's be fair. I had a lot more faith in the Bulls, that Bulls team, with the leadership that they had, than I do in this Celtic team.
They had Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah. I mean, there's a 0% chance, and I don't like using absolutes, 0, that Michael Jordan would have allowed the kind of shot selection that he
Word.
Right.
That's a great point. That's a great point. It's a great point. And I've seen. Thank you to everybody watching in the chat and liking us on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I've seen some people in the chat mention, hey, they understand the comparison I'm bringing up when the last time the Knicks had this and they were against a defending champion. Again, that's the comparison. They were going up against a defending champion. They were up 2-0. They did have home court advantage in that series. But to the people in the chat who said, yeah, they don't have Jordan, they don't have Pippen, I hear you. You're right. And I think that's part of the point you're making. Michael Jordan, the thing we have sort of put in his lore is that he would not let his team lose, right? And he wouldn't let his team lose like this at all whatsoever. And look, I think you have to be confident about the Knicks. The Garden is going to be.
Oh my God, we'll get into that too.
We'll get into that. They're going to be nuts on Saturday. It's going to be this, and I'll wrap on this, Brian. You and I have covered this for a long time. Watched sports for a long time. A lot of people in the chat have watched sports for a long time. This is the first time in a long time around New York basketball with the Knicks, where they will be playing a game on Saturday at home, where this crowd is going to be nuts. The expectations are high. The belief that they can win now and get past this round is very high and should be. I guess my question here is, I think it sounds to me like you like the Knicks have a chance to win this series. You like them to win this series, but how confident are you that they continue the good play or elevate their play at home on Saturday and Monday?
Well, listen, I certainly don't like them to win the series as much as the numbers. I think, 2-0 lead on the road, it's like 85%. I'm not going to say 85%, but yeah, I think the Knicks can play better than this. And, the Celtics clearly could play better than this. But, I'm very confident after what I've seen from this Knicks team. Very confident. And, by the way, what was Mitch today? Mitch was about, plus 20, plus 19?
Plus 19.
He was a
Plus
big
19.
plus-minus guy in game one, too.
Three steals and block.
Air balls, I get it.
Yeah, imperfect stat, but still.
It's a bad look. I understand.
Yeah.
But, he is what he is at the free throw line. Right? There's a reason there's Hack-a-Mitch out there. That's not all of a sudden changing this year in the playoffs. But, goodness, if he hits just a couple more, there's a lot more. Obviously, Brunson is going to be hard to contain as much as he was contained today.
Agreed.
I mean, there are, maybe I'm, picking nits, but there are things that the Knicks can improve on. And I'm not even getting into the kind of boost that they're going to get from the Garden, which should be beyond electric, maybe more whatever's beyond electric, nuclear, I guess.
Nuclear, I like that.
So there are things that make you look and say, yeah, they can improve. They can level up here. They can improve here. They can tighten this up here. Absolutely. And Mikhail, maybe gets activated a little earlier in the game. I mean, there are a lot of things that you look and you say maybe they aren't vast improvements, but are things that even if there's a natural drop off somewhere else, once those things return and kind of level out and normalize, they should have a good chance.
Yeah, they should. And I think if you're this team in the front office and you look at the fact that Jaylen Brown had 20 points on 8 of 23 shooting, Jayson Tatum had 13 points and 5 of 20 shooting, this is what the front office assembled Wingstop for. This is what they assembled them for, and they have gotten the job done on the road. This was information I think that was trying to be gathered from this series from the Knicks in the front office, and through 2 games, the information gathered has been pretty positive. You have to say that. So it'll be fun. Game 3 is Saturday. Bryan, you'll be joining us after that game. Man, these games have been fun, man. I've had so much fun doing it. We're so grateful to talk to you after. Get some rest. We'll see in this game that's going on now for road team. A home team can finally win a game in the second round because nobody's able to do that.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Can't wait. All right, Bryan. We'll see you Saturday,
Bryan.
Man. Peace. Bryan Lewis, sports reporter for the New York Post. Join us here on the post-game wrap for New York Got Game Knicks Live watch party. We had Greydy Diaz in the building with us, kicking it with us to watch the game. OKC trying to do their part to be a home team
Had them in
to
the
win a
first
game.
half as well.
They are up
Celtics
30
covered
to 13.
in the first half, but blew it at the end.
Yeah.
This is why I don't take full games in these responses. I just go with the first half. Look, let's wrap on this because there's a few different things. Game 3 is going to be really, really loud, like ridiculously loud. I thought it would have been loud if the Celtics won 1 and 2. Now that the Knicks have a 2-0 lead, it's going to be, we're going to hear it from here. We're not that far from the Garden, but it's a little bit of a walk. And just, I know the Celtics have room to play better, but the Knicks do also. And the thing that, to me, like game 1, again, at the end, I'm kind of like, all right, game 1 happened. Now, this is a 5-alarm fire for Boston. The Knicks got to be feeling great because all they really need to do, at a bare minimum, as they've demonstrated, is hang around, and then in the fourth quarter, like, you have a chance to win the game. And I'll give you credit because you said this, like, people were questioning what's the identity of this team all season long. And we didn't really know, like, for good reason, because it was like, all right, is it that they're just more offensively talented than they used to be? Is it just Jalen Brunson is clutch? Is like, what is it?
I said the team was clutch. That was one of my questions.
That's what it is.
That the
it's
team
like,
was clutch.
But coming out of the Pistons series specifically, it's like maybe this is their identity. It's finishing off these close games. Now, they didn't finish all of them against Detroit, but they finished enough of them to win that series. And ultimately, like, that was a series where, and Detroit, much inferior to Boston, but still a good team, the Knicks figured it out in these clutch situations. And here, it's like they're losing by double digits, by 20 plus or 18 plus, 16 plus, whatever it is. And they come back little by little by little. Boston falls into the same old shit that they would do before, like these bad habits where they would heavily on the isolation, contested shots. They can't get to the rim. And this is one of the things about shooting all those threes that they shoot. You don't get to the rim a lot. If you look at their numbers attacking the basket, like, Boston doesn't get to the rim enough. So this is part of where shooting all those threes hurts you, because when you need to attack the basket, it can be a little bit of a struggle. Mm-hmm. This is why teams want the Celtics in close games. So I give you credit because, like, it looks like this Knicks team's identity, while it's not the quote unquote toughness from last year, it's the toughness in clutch situations and being clutch I mean, there's more data to support that now.
Yeah, it's something I brought up on the show in the middle of the season. We had an episode with it. I'm forgetting who was the guest, in which I asked the question. Might have been early March, might have been late February.
Yeah.
Is the Knicks' identity being clutch? Because you started seeing them win some of these games, have some toughness. I think it was after they had the Memphis win. I'm forgetting the Miami Heat win. It was right after that weekend. So I think that was late February. They had Memphis, then Miami. 2 clutch games. They won really well. Brunson was great. They were great in the fourth quarter.
Against 2 teams that can't hold leads, but still.
Fair. But at the time, Memphis was second in the West. Miami's still a rival that played pretty. Yeah. So at that time, the win looked a little different, right?
And those clutch wins around that time, to your point, that they started piling up.
Yes. And I was starting to see something. I'm like, yo, this team executes well. They're together. They fight. They're not wavering when they get down. Mm-hmm. Now, what I think frustrated the fan base was, okay, but when you play OKC, well, except for the first game, you play OKC the second game, you play the Celtics, you play the Cavs, you're not in these games, you're not fighting back. You haven't seen that from the Knicks. The Knicks have fought back every time.
Yeah.
There's not a game they folded in these playoffs. That is something to be proud of. This is why what I was saying, and the point I tried to make all year, is you can't fall in love with what a team did last year. I know this city, as a native New Yorker, somebody grew up rooting for the Knicks, I understand that you love the grittiness, you love the toughness, you love those 90s Knicks teams. You have to let teams develop their own identity at time when you change pieces. It's not going to be like it was before. Mm-hmm. This team needed time to do that and figure it out. And this is to show people. We talked about this with the Mets last year. Seasons are long, folks.
Yeah.
You can't get too caught up in, this is not happening now. You got to give teams time to gel, to work things out. You got to trust the process. No Sixers, but you got to trust the process. And I think fans are sometimes way too impatient because they want tomorrow yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is proof of that. And so for all you Knicks fans out there, if you believe the Knicks can go up 2-0, salute to you. Salute to you.
It's not many of you.
Not many
legitimately.
If you were,
there were a lot. Listen, we've been talking to y'all all year.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot of Knicks fans, and rightfully so, who heading into the playoffs, who heading into this series, were kind of like, man, I don't know, like, it's been.
And I can't blame them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Totally justifiable. But we talked about, even after last game, like, all right, is this a Tibbs team? Those moments in the fourth quarter,
that's Tibbs stuff.
That feels like a Tibbs team.
That's Tibbs stuff.
Does this team have toughness? And now, after one game, whatever, 2 games in this series, like now,
it's not an anomaly.
Now I've allowed my mind to think like, okay, they really could actually, like, you're halfway there. You really could actually win the series. Because after game 1, it's like, again, game 1s, that stuff happens, and Boston's a really good road team. Let's not overlook that either. This isn't over. But like now, you really, really believe that they can win the series based on how they've played. Like, can they get another couple of games? Like, it's on the table.
You've got fans in the chat. I think I saw Mo say, "Bring on the Pacers." And listen, again, I'll tell everybody, one game at a time. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to curb your enthusiasm.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to hate. I'm saying one game at a time. I want to see it. I'd love to see Knicks play in Indiana. That's
we want to keep doing shows.
That's a classic. Also, I love seeing play in Indiana. That is a classic rivalry matchup. There's a lot of history there. Knicks Pacers conference finals. The last time the Knicks won the conference finals, they played and beat the Pacers.
Although,
yes,
I don't want to kill Cleveland yet. Like,
no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not killing anybody yet.
I don't want to kill Cleveland or Boston. Yeah, like, this is serious. This is the part where, like, you don't want to play with.
I've watched sports too long.
Yes,
I've watched sports too long.
Yes,
and understand how it goes, and I've seen things change. That's the only reason I bring up '93. I understand there's no Jordan or Pippen.
But this same Boston nucleus came back from 3-0 against a Heat team that was on
fire.
There you go. Fire.
So then,
if Jayson Tatum doesn't roll his ankle in the first quarter, like, who knows? I still think they lose that game because Miami just beat the shit out of them.
I think the way reason you feel good is they're coming into a Garden. I expect the Knicks fans to be live, and hyped. And I saw size 9 here. I want to shout out to everybody who's been in. Mo, I've seen you size 9.
Yeah, you guys have been great.
You guys have been great in the chat.
Not like super over the top either, which is cool.
Gaza, who's been there, and I saw Gaza. I know you said, "Blessings, my brother. I just want you to believe in the Knicks."
Well,
I know what I know, and I see what people don't see. Well, Gaza, let me say this to you, brother.
If you're still here.
Gaza, if you're still here, and if you are the prophet that you are saying that you are, we are with you, man. We are with you, And we had a conversation that it's all love, man. Like I understand this fan base very well. I understand that a lot of them been waiting for a long time for a moment like this, and you should be happy in this moment.
Yeah.
I am not here to steal anybody's joy. You up 2-0. You should be proud of this team. And if you were killing this team, and you said they had no heart, and you were killing Mikal Bridges and all that stuff.
For any of you.
And you were wrong.
Yeah.
Just say you were wrong and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some of y'all were killing. Some of y'all had faith all the way, and respect to you too. But whatever you are, wherever you are in your fandom, enjoy it, man. Enjoy these wins. Enjoy the process. Like, this stuff is good. I like seeing that the Knicks fans are happy here. I think this is really good. I think this team has been building. The core of this team is that experience. Last year's experience matters to how it translates here. It's a new team. Mm-hmm. There are new pieces. There's a lot I think you could like this game. The Knicks went to Cat early, and Cat was efficient in this game. And Cat was really good on the board. Really 17 boards.
Second quarter,
and he was cooking there. All those pieces matter. Mikal Bridges coming through in the fourth. His confidence as a player is something I'm really liking right now. Okay, and he's really like F them picks for everybody out there.
They traded him. They traded for him
for this
series.
Him
and OG Anunoby, like, this is why you get the contract extension. It was for this series, and it didn't look like it was.
But they've been fantastic defensively.
But
they've been fantastic.
These two, it didn't look like it was working out until we see this playoff
because
series.
You can't.
Sometimes that happens.
Because sometimes you can't judge stuff off of what you just see in the regular season. The playoffs are the time to evaluate, truly evaluate.
But you know what? The thing you couldn't take from the regular season is like Boston was just whooping their ass and making all their threes. So in a tight game situation, it's different. And that's what you didn't really get. You got it like one time in that overtime game.
But they figured it out to now how to get these to tight games to make all I want to see from Knicks was have this be competitive. Now they've shown how to make it competitive because golly. Maybe they figured things out, guys. Yeah. Sometimes that's what happens to a season. You can figure some things out. You need the reps. You need to see different things. They didn't show the switch everything. Tibbs held that. Like Tibbs or not, you can't say that's not good coaching to hold that. Because
the fire Tibbs shit it's over now. I think the people who wanted to there was a lot of people
unless they have an epic collapse.
No. I think he's good.
I think so too.
I think he's good after these two, and I also don't think they can. Like, I don't think they're going to lose 4 straight though. I don't.
I don't see that.
I don't.
I don't see this looking like 93, and I wasn't trying to say that. I don't
look. It has happened in NBA history. I think there was a Bulls Celtics series, although a different iteration of both teams.
Yes.
But there was one where like the Bulls, I think, went up 2-0 and lost 4 straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like it's happened, but at the same time, like, the numbers are not on
85% of the time. Team wins the first 2 games in a row.
And
they win.
I wonder NBA wide. This is for a larger discussion for another day, but just something we could have. But like NBA wide, I do wonder: is this going to be like, maybe teams are leaning too far, or maybe just Boston, but maybe teams are leaning too far into 3-point shooting because if you don't have the variety, look at what could happen in close games. And the Knicks have not a better offense in totality, but a more balanced offense from the standpoint of getting their shots from different areas of the floor.
I love the word you used there. You're right. Balance, bro.
Yeah.
You're right. They don't have the ceiling for their offense is not as high, but the Knicks are a more balanced offense. And look at the shot diet that Mikal Bridges had in the fourth. He had a couple of middies. Mm-hmm. He had some threes. He had shots in the flow of the offense. This Knicks offense is only gaining confidence and credit Josh Hart. Josh Hart was tremendous in this game.
Should have took us over again. Forgot.
Josh Hart was tremendous.
Greydy even said it. She's like, I don't like that Boston shoots all them threes.
Yeah, she said she doesn't like it. And Boston fans are saying this, and I have Boston fans friends. Josh Hart hasn't been piling up the assists that he normally gets in this game.
But this team dares Josh Hart to win games for the Knicks. And not that he wins them by himself, he doesn't, but like he is a driving force in their offense. Like Boston, he's the guy that they dare. Mitchell Robinson too, to an extent, but he's the guy that they dare from at least the perimeter. He's taking the shots and he's making the shots.
This playoff run is starting to have one of those special feels. One of those feels I haven't felt around here in quite some time.
The other team in the
East,
the Knicks. The other team in the East is saying the same thing.
Saying the same thing.
Two play each other. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
But if the two of them look like they're right now on a collision course to meet, Sure feels like the 90s, guys. Feels like the 90s. And God,
we'll be doing more shows if that's the case.
If we get ourselves a Knicks-Pacers conference finals, because it would just be a lot of fun for the city. The teams played each other last year. Pacers knock them out. It's a Knicks rival. It's a historic rival.
Both teams are healthy.
Both teams are healthy
and
playing. It will be a fun series. But you got to take it one game at a time. Next up is game 3.
It's going to be a hard series, by the way.
I wish
if they do play each other.
I'm so glad we'll be here, but I wish I was in the building for that one. If there ever was a game, I wish I could feel the Garden crowd, hear the Garden crowd here. It would be this one. We will be back on Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. We'll be going live right here. Our guest will be Joe Delera from the Action Network, his buddy. So we're going to have a plenty of props.
He's a Knicks fan
to talk about. He's a big Knicks fan.
He is.
We're going to have some fun props we're going to go through in the game with Joe. That'll be a fun one. It'll be rocking. Joe's probably going to be here in some Knicks gear.
Maybe.
It's good. But hey, we had the opposition in here for the first time. And, Greydy Diaz had to go home a little sad. That's the homie, but she had to go home a little bit sad.
She got a title, though. She'll be fine.
I think Greydy will be fine. Greydy has a couple of titles to comfort
That's
her.
That's a fact, actually. 08 too.
I think she'll be good. But we want to thank her for coming through. Greydy was actually battling a little bit of a cough, so she was able to. She threw the game. She was able to come
Jayson
through and rock
making
with
her
us.
Sick.
Yeah, Jayson Tatum probably made us sicker. So I appreciate for toughing it out, thugging it out with us, and rocking with us. We appreciate everybody in the chat.
Yes.
For watching. We also have to thank our whole crew.
Yeah.
Nikolai Jackson, producing Tommy Hogan, producing Tommy Cohen as well, and Wesley Splane, our editor, putting out all the great stuff on social. We appreciate all of you because we have so much of a great team here at the New York Post that makes it work. A lot of good stuff coming this weekend, including next Sunday after Game 3. We got a really special guest coming on Got Game this week. I'm really excited. Very special guest coming on to talk about some things about the series. So that should be fun. A lot of good things coming this week. But Bryan and I will be back here on Saturday with you at 3:30. Joe Delera of the Action Network is going to be our guest.
Should be fun.
In studio with us. Should be a real fun. If you got some good props you're thinking about for Game 3,
facts.
Let us know. We'll be having some fun with props because that's my thing to do. We did some. Before we go, did you do any props today? How'd you do on the props?
Yeah, Derek White didn't get the threes. Celtics did get the first half. I had something Knicks, but I don't recall what it was. But I don't think it got there. But hey, it looks like I'll get the Celtics and Thunder first half parlay, and we're waiting on some stuff for the Denver game. So it was better the last 2 days.
Better than the last 2 days. Let's see. Hopefully it's better.
No, better the last 2 days than today.
Today
it looks like we'll lose a unit, but it's only a
unit. We will see. It should be a good day. But if you're a Knicks fan, this was a great day. Enjoy this win. 2-0. The next 2 days are going to be orange and blue skies. Orange and blue skies.
7th right now.
I'm glad we have 2 days off. It's going to be a fun 2 days. I get to go see Kendrick perform live on Friday. That'll be dope. And we'll be back with good energy on Saturday. So, for everybody out there, the great team here at the New York Post Sports, our guest today, Greydy Diaz. He's Bryan Fonseca. I'm Dexter Henry.
Job not finished.
Job is not finished, but the Knicks are up 2-0 against the Boston Celtics. 2-0, folks. They're going to be partying on Broadway already.
They
won the championship.
You
already know it. It's going to be pretty good. Everybody enjoy the next couple of days off. We'll be back on Saturday. Until next time, y'all. Peace.